Yo, 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 it's your boy Big Raw Opinion back with another live video tonight. Make sure you hit that like button, make sure you hit that share button. Most importantly, make sure you sub to the channel. We go addressing the culture tonight, State of the Culture, part 2. Come on in. Hit that like button on your way in. It's going down. It's going down. It's going down. State of the Culture. Yeah. Let's address it. What up, Unc? Chi-Town in the building. Y'all people better wake up. We better wake up. They doing it right in front of our eye. Ain't no more hiding. Ain't no more hiding. This shit is in your face. State of the culture, baby. State of the culture. And who else is better to address the culture than none other than your boy, Big Raw Opinion. Make sure y'all like this video. Make sure y'all sub to the channel. And most importantly, man, I always say most importantly, subbing is the most important thing. But tonight, make sure y'all share this video. Let's talk about it. We the people, the state of the culture. Let's get it, man. Where everybody at, man? Where everybody at? I guess I need to get on that messy. I need to get messy over here, huh? For me to get people on here, I guess I don't be in enough drama or something. I don't know. I guess I ain't entertaining enough. You know, I guess I'm giving out too much knowledge. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I don't know what it may be. Am I giving out too much knowledge over here or something? Am I empowering too many people? Am I talking about too much over here? Let me know what I'm doing wrong. Where the people at? I thought I had my people with me. Jackie, what's going on? What's going on? They ain't hiding this shit no more, man. They always want to run around on these platforms talking about we have got so far away from this. In America, it's not like that anymore. This type of stuff don't go on no more. That type of stuff don't go on no more. But it's Halloween 2022, and we still saying shit like this. Now, Sweet Pea, what's going on? J-Rock, what's up? Derek, what's up? Now, you got a fucking object hanging from a noose in front of a police officer home in the state of Mississippi. Who are you supposed to go to for help if this shit is in the police officer's yard? As if the police car's not even sitting there. This shit is in the officer's yard. Do you hear me? Now, if I'm in trouble, if I need help, where do I go to get help if the police officers are the ones committing the act? I need help to understand that. Right? If the police are the ones committing the act, if the police is the one committing the act, where do you go to get help at? Were y'all able to see that clip I just played? Let's play it again. This is a police officer in the state of Mississippi thought that this would be a good idea for Halloween. Our people are so focused on calling Kanye West crazy, but you don't see the outcry for this though. Well, I be damn. It's 2022, yeah. It is 2022. And yeah, you did see what you just saw. Yes, you did. Yes, you did. No, your eyes are not playing tricks on you. You haven't heard this in any media outlet. You haven't saw this not on no TV platform, nowhere. This is somebody on social media, I guess so happened to be from the state of Mississippi that's passing through and pass by and see some shit like that in someone's front yard as decoration. So you mean to tell us our people hanging from a noose is considered Halloween decoration? Are you serious? Our people hanging from a noose, an image of our people hanging from a noose is supposed to be Halloween decoration. But our people are out here so caught up into calling Kanye West crazy, right? Oh, he done lost his mind, correct? You get what I'm saying? I feel you, Sir Miguel. Nothing has really changed. But my point exactly, I'm glad that you said that, Sir Miguel. I'm glad you said that. Because, let me drop the link. Because what was the thing that the guy kept telling Kanye West on the interview when Kanye West was started telling him, we are removed from what our ancestors went through. And this is what I mean. How are people so worked up about a statement that Kanye made when people are out here making these type of actions each and every year around this time? Each and every year around this time, it's the same thing. You know what I'm saying? So they want us to feel like, oh, since we can have a little money, we need to shut the hell up. Since we can have a little bit of money, we need to shut the fuck up and just accept whatever it is that they do. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy, man. We in the deuce. This 2022. And this is exactly why Kanye West spoke the way that he spoke. Because we can't allow these people to keep on trying to tell us that shit doesn't exist, that we know that exists, that we know still goes on. Like Kanye West said, how could you take the most powerful black man in this country and from being in a billionaire status in less than one night, you can strip him of everything? Can we make sense of that? Can we make sense of that? But see, when Kanye West trying to make that point to the people, and Kanye West is trying to prove to everybody what we're still living in, that they are trying to cover up and make it seem as if we have got so far from those times. We see it every day. What's going on, Sir Miguel?
What's up, nephew?
Not much. Oh, chilling, man. I'm on here today addressing the culture, man.
Man, I just wanted to tap in real quick. See, I think people have this notion because it's the 21st century and we've moved forward into 2022, whether it's 2019, stuff has actually changed. Ain't nothing really changed, man. All it is just technology has been able to put stuff out there that's already been sitting there for a long time. That's already been in progress. It's already been shaped and formed, and the views is out there to people. These folks in this system don't give a damn about the regular common person anyway.
Fact.
And at the end of the day, if you think that because it's 2022 and these folks can set up here and fought for civil rights and all this other kind of stuff and affirmative action, you have another thing coming because affirmative action is not what it's supposed to be, and civil rights is not really what it's supposed to be. Both parties and the people that run these parties are two sides of the same coin. So you
Mm-hmm.
shouldn't be surprised at what come out their mouth. You should be surprised what you see on social media or the news or whatever the case may be. All they telling you is this: if we want to get rid of you, we're going to hurt your pockets just like y'all try to hurt ours when y'all boycott. That's exactly what they doing.
That's it.
And if we ain't got common sense to see that we have to double up and use the same trajectory of information they use against us on them, but we got to
That's
do
it.
it. We got to do it quietly, methodically, mathematically, and think about it common sense wise. How to move wisely without telling too much.
Exactly, man. Exactly. And that's what it is, and that's what it's all about. That's why I talk to some of my friends or whatever, and what I tell them that you have to have somebody that's courageous enough to step out on a limb, which is far as Kanye West did, and he put the spotlight on himself, in which he made the statement by saying, "What I did, I took an action to prove to y'all that if something happens to me, it should be a message to you all as far as what is really going on in this world, because we have seemed to have missed the message with Malcolm X, Martin Luther King, Fred Hampton, Marcus Garvey, Tupac Shakur, Sam Cooke, Michael Jackson, Prince, so on and so on. We are steady missing what's right in front of us because we don't want to accept that's the reality of it.
Key word, Big Boy, you just said the reality of it. We think because we so-called drinking out the same water fountains that we've actually got it made and we're cool. No, we're not.
We're not.
The problem is, if you think about it, and Martin Luther King said it best. He said, I can't quote him verbatim, but he said, I think I've led my people in the wrong way, which means he saw that, guess what? Integration didn't do nothing for us.
Nope.
And I've actually said this. I even questioned that when I was in fucking elementary school.
Nope.
What I said,
It's,
I'm like, what do we get out of it? Because when we had our own, we may not have the best of everything, but we had our own shit.
right. And that's why they were so jealous of Black Wall Street. And the thing about Black Wall Street, Tulsa, Oklahoma, wasn't just the only Black Wall Street. There were Black Wall Streets all over this country.
Exactly. South Carolina, North Carolina, fucking
It was Black Wall Streets all over. But
all
for
over.
some odd reason, they targeted the Black Wall Street in Oklahoma, and I believe it was because of the oil.
Of course. Not only that, man. Did you know? Did you know like the movie theaters that we have now, like the high back seats and all that stuff, the recliner seats?
Uh-huh.
Did you know they had those back then in Oklahoma?
Yeah, I heard they had some of the richest people in the world resided in Oklahoma, and they were our people.
Yeah,
Our
they
people had Model T Ford vehicles, was driving vehicles around the same when they
ran,
first came out.
bruh, ran the airport.
You see what I'm saying? Our people were so far advanced with this shit to the point to where these people, like they said, man, they were like bullies, right? They just
Hmm.
came in and just wanted to take over shit. This is
Hmm.
what I tell people, even when we think about Black Wall Street, the power
Hmm.
of Black Wall Street itself. Man, you had U.S. military dropping bombs on citizens of the United
Exactly.
States.
Exactly. But see, and I go back and I tell people it is, and I wish he was still doing speaking, Dr. Claude Anderson. I had the honor and the privilege, man, to listen to him back in the early 90s. And everything that he says in his books that he's written, he's dead ass on point, man. And I wish people would just go back, buy his books, man, buy Powernomics. You know what I'm saying? Study it. And it's gonna give you an open view of what we need to do, what we can do, what we should be doing, how we should go about it in order to move forward. Because at the end of the day, when he was trying to get these distribution centers and stuff going for like selling fish and all this other kind of stuff, distributing fish, nobody
Mhm.
wanted to back him up. What he was saying was, we have to get into distribution because honestly, if you think about it, if you get into distribution, do you know how effective that can be economically? Not only
And
for
see,
our
ooh,
man,
sir, you just said something. I don't know if you've been listening to Kanye West, and he's been speaking, and his main reason for separating himself from the corporation was to be able to get into the distribution and also make things affordable for the average person.
here's the thing, brother. I've heard some of his stuff. I haven't listened to everything, but I've always understood what distribution meant at an early age. You know what I'm saying? So just to hear you say what he's saying, Dr. Claude Anderson been saying the same damn thing for 30 plus years,
Mm-hmm.
right?
And then what they say, even
Muhammad
your boy
Ali,
said that. Your boy said the same thing, Dick Gregory. United
yeah,
States don't own nothing.
exactly. Don't own a damn thing. And I'm gonna say this: if people understood how the Nation of Islam does stuff, if you think about it, they have their own system set up where they take care of their people. You may not hear about it, but they do a lot of shit. You don't have to always agree with what they say or what Farrakhan says, but he's speaking the same fucking language.
Uh-huh.
Distribution. If you can get a hold of distribution, bro, you can change the landscape of everything.
And it goes back. Now, we just mentioned I'm gonna show you how important this is what we're talking about right now and how it all ties in, right? We
Mm-hmm.
spoke about Oklahoma, Black Wall Street, and how it was bombed. It was
Mm-hmm.
bombed by the U.S., the federal government. We just gonna say the
Mm-hmm.
federal government. Then you go to Chicago, the Black Panthers, Fred Hampton.
Yep.
Who took down the Black Panther Party when they was at their strength? When the
Federal government.
Black Panthers was put in place for the community to give the children, the youth, outreach to come to, also feed them, get them food, and
Mm-hmm.
get them after school tutoring to help with their
Mm-hmm.
schooling. Also help the village as well, as far as your parents was short on bill.
Mm-hmm.
they helped come through. They were short on rent. The Black Panther, they helped come through. They created jobs for everyone to be able to make a living, and they supported each other. The government
And
didn't want to see that. So what did they do? They planned a hit to take out the leader.
mm-hmm.
That man wasn't took out because he wasn't doing what he was supposed to do. He got took out for empowering his people.
Exactly.
Why would you attack an education building where he's helping and feeding these children in the community that's coming from low income situations? It's right in our face.
Well, not only that, it's like I tell people when they talk about the Crips, the word Crip stands for Community Revolution and Progress. They was doing the same thing as the Black Panthers. Same thing.
Exactly. That's it.
Same thing.
All of these organizations that we see today that has been hijacked and turned into a criminal organization. When those
Mm-hmm.
organizations were created, those organizations were created to protect the community from the war on
Exactly.
drugs. And then,
Exactly.
therefore, the shit turned into a criminal because the government made it criminal.
Exactly. Exactly.
So
Exactly.
I got another clip I'm gonna play here, and this is why, and this is one of the biggest reasons I feel as though our people are that we are so fucked up is because the main thing that we look at, the main thing that we listen to is the media. When you hear Kanye
Mm-hmm.
West is about to name so many outlets, and when he named these outlets, and he gonna tell you who these outlets are controlled and ran by. And I was so shocked. I Roland Martin, man, but it all makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
It all makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna play two short clips, and then we're gonna talk about them, and then boom, I got one big clip. But it's just, I'm telling y'all, the way that this man talked, the reason why I feel the way I feel when I hear Kanye speak is because I've listened to the Dick Gregory's, I've listened to the
Mm-hmm.
I've listened to Farrakhan's, I done listened to some of the powerful people that speak about these same actions. This man they want us, but this is what the media do. They want us to, anytime one of our people get in power, they want us to look at them as if they're crazy, they're drug addicts, they're sex addicts. It's always that part. There's always that attachment. Even without Dr. Martin Luther King that sacrificed so much. But now this man can't even rest in peace because people going around saying, oh, he committed adultery. Oh, he was doing this with this, that, and that. Like, what the fuck do this shit come from?
And even if he did, so what?
I'm like, where? Like, what?
Let me
What do
keep it
the
a buck.
narratives come from?
Even if he did, so what? That's between him and his wife at the end of the day.
She never left his side, right?
Never left him, right?
Just like Bill Cosby, right? Did she ever leave?
No.
But
Because
this is what they want.
exactly.
They
Because at
want
the
to
end
tear
of
down the image of a successful marriage.
and then at the same time, the very same people that's running this motherfucking country or this goddamn system, they have affairs and do all kinds of shit. They get to stay in office and do all, you know what I'm saying? So what the fuck?
My point exactly, man.
I mean, some people got to stop playing with shit because at the end of the day, and you said this, and countless other people said this. We tear each other down so much. Now it'll be a different if you one of them motherfuckers, excuse my language, that's being a nigga, which can be anybody that just don't give a fuck and just want to destroy everything. I don't want to fuck with you, period.
No.
At the end of the day,
Go ahead, sir.
At the end of the day, if you trying to come together to create one common goal to get the people out the mud, then that's all I give a fuck about. But if you all on some bullshit, I don't give a fuck if you white, black, blue, green, yellow, or gray. Get the fuck out of my way because I don't need your bullshit ass energy.
Facts. And that's why I tell people. But what do our people resonate with? A lot of our people resonate with destruction. They think destruction
Exactly.
is taking action. Destruction is
Exactly.
not taking action. Understanding, making sure the people understand your actions, not taking action as far as tearing shit up. We all can go out here and tear shit up. Anybody can go tear shit up. What are you proving? If your people are still lost,
Mm-hmm.
the only way your people can follow you is if you allow them to understand. But first, you got to be willing to want to understand what someone is trying to say.
Exactly.
A lot of people just have wrote Kanye West off to say he crazy. But the more you go and listen to this man speak, it goes back to this man has been listening. This man has been studying. And the thing about it is, you know, why I'm going to say this before I play this video. We can answer when we come back. Why so many people want Kanye West to apologize, but we ain't on these white folks' ass about apologizing?
Because we have the tendency to take everything the media says and don't understand the layers and what he's saying, understanding and getting to the root of what he's saying and why shit grows the way it grows. Because if you plant a seed and you water it, one or two things gonna happen. It's either gonna grow or the motherfucker gonna die.
That's
Period.
it. And how many times I told you, if you recall back, if you can recall back, Sir Miguel, when I was talking about CC Love, I'm not sure. That name ain't for me. CC Love, you go ahead and write in the private chat. Let me know who you is. I'm thinking that's Dean. I'm not for sure. Let me see. Thinking that's Dean though. Yeah, I figured that was Dean. But the thing is, damn, I lost. Yo, so a while back, right, Sir Miguel, you remember I was talking about, I say, how is it that our people are so convinced, are so okay with listening to the media now, but when Michael Brown was killed, or we go back when Trayvon Martin was killed, the media,
Mm-hmm.
the media slandered Trayvon Martin.
They
When
did.
Michael Brown was killed, the media slandered Michael Brown. When Sandra Bland was killed, the media slandered Sandra Bland. When Philando Castile was killed, they slandered this man. But our people want to listen to the media and take the media for face value when it comes to Robert Kelly or Bill Cosby. But when it came to those people who was gunned down by officers in the mainstream media was talking about their drug addiction or they run-ins with the police that had nothing to do with the reason why they were being gunned down in the street at the time of their demise. But we all, man, they lying. He wasn't doing that or he wasn't doing this. But when it come to Robert Kelly, everybody take that for face value, and it's so true.
One of the reasons being, bro, is that you can take anything and throw it on a person to make them look as though they've been bad all their life. That's what they did to R. Kelly. Okay. But if you go back and look at his track record, whether it's R. Kelly, whether it's Michael Brown, or whatever the case may be, they'll go and dig up and say, "Well, oh, it had to happen. He got killed because of his past, or because of something he did, or this, that, and the third." See, it's easy to throw that shit out there to make it believable because it's gonna be bits and pieces told of the story. So every time somebody sees something or hear just a part of something, oh shit, it got to be fucking true. But unless you do your homework and really sit down and study shit, you really don't know shit.
No. And when did we as a culture start leaning on the goddamn media to tell us about our culture? What goes on in our community? What goes on between our people? I don't give a damn who you is. What's up, David? What's up, Dean? One thing that we are taught as brown skinned brothers growing up is that we don't fucking challenge authority. We ain't challenging the police, man.
You're right.
And we caught.
You know what? It's funny that you brought that up because I told my children, if a teacher tell you something, question everything. Question everything. Don't take it at face value. Challenge them. My kids would come home every day with a note about some shit that went on at school, and I would be right up there the next morning. But see, what they failed to realize when they found that I was a former educator, I would tell my class to do the same shit. Challenge me. Question what I say to you. Do your homework on it. Don't just take it at face value. Why? Because my teachers did me the same way. So when it comes to all this bullshit, and the reason why I know when it comes to media, when I did an intern at NBC when I was going to school in Birmingham, the black brother pulled me to the side. He said, let me tell you something. He said, the first rule of thumb you're going to learn about this business. Drama sells, bullshit sells, but anything that has to do with good, it costs us too much money because it's not going to grab your attention.
Mm-hmm.
And that shit stuck with me as a fucking 19-year-old kid until now.
And we see that on social media, right?
Boom.
We see it on social media every day.
Ask yourself, why is it called Instagram? Because it's fast, it's quick.
Mm-hmm.
Why is it called Facebook? Because it's in your face, because you ain't gonna go pick up a book.
Mm-hmm.
Why is it called Snapchat? Because it's snapped real fast, but you ain't gonna really pay attention what the fucking message is telling you. You're not gonna go do your homework.
When they call it the instant era.
Yeah, instant gratification.
What's going on, Dean? What's going on, David?
Man, nothing much, but I just checked you out, man. That's it. Just kind of thinking about what you're saying about Ye. And really, like, it's like, man, in a lot of ways, if you go back in his music, a lot of this stuff was saying prophetic because he was saying a lot of things. Like if you go listen to New Slave, which is old, he was saying a lot about it back then. And then one of the new songs he got, "Will Holy Spirit Come Down?" I mean, that's the hook part of the song. But he talking about a lot, and then in there he said, "You know that it's fake if it's in the news." That's one of the verses. You know that it's fake if it's in the news. You know what I'm saying? And so he was kind of letting people know before they took him off Twitter how they was going to try to demonize him, isolate him, and then kind of to the point where it really be up to like his people to stand up for him. You know what I mean? So it's amazing that it's playing out like this. So I'm just wondering what's going to happen. But
and that's what we did when that was Sir Miguel. That was a few nights ago when we put his lyrics up on the stream. It was
a couple nights. Yeah.
And we put the lyrics up. We like, damn. Now this is the lyrics to his song. He's saying the same shit in his music that he said on the goddamn Drink Champs interview. What was the difference? They don't promote his music, so they're not worried about the youth listening to it.
Exactly. Because think about it. The very same people that's running these companies, right? The positive shit that really could go out, it could resonate. But it's not going to resonate as fast as it does with killing and shooting and so forth and so on.
Right.
They want the money. They don't give a fuck about the words because they know the words going to travel down and get into the minds of the young. And all we want to do is kill, shoot up, hoes, bitches, and so forth and so on. You know what I'm saying? But that speaks volume to who they really are. if you really think about it.
Mm-hmm. And guess what? The top two industries in the world right now is goddamn jail and the goddamn mortuary, man.
True.
Jail and funeral homes. If you want to make some money and you want to invest in something, you might want to start thinking about investing in a funeral home. It's crazy when you start seeing a funeral home every 2 miles you drive.
Right.
So many bodies falling, they in competition.
Or you hear somebody say, "Oh man, I'm about to become a funeral director," and all that kind of shit. Just out the boom. You go, what? But bodies is dropping like crazy.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying?
And they keep getting younger and younger. The body's becoming younger and younger because guess what? What's up, Sippy? They already have indoctrinated the kids. Molly Percocets. Molly Percocet.
And think about it, brother.
Smoking on your dead homie.
And not only that, it's funny that you brought that up. You say something about a dead person, they want to start snapping and tripping and shooting, right? The person that's gone can't hear you anyway. If they was that important to you, you would have did right by them when they was alive.
Hey, and they was probably treating them the worst when they was alive too.
Exactly.
Look it up. See, bro, and that's why I like OG David, because David come from the street. Like David say, he told homeboy, look, y'all ain't getting in my car with that blicky.
Oh man.
David say, I ain't trying to have none of them problems. If you gotta ride around like that, you got enemies, man.
Yeah, exactly. I ain't got none of them. I ain't got no enemies like that. Not unless the government come kill me, but not no street niggas. No, I ain't got no enemies like that.
Yeah. What's up, Shot Time Fire? What up, Dean? What you got to say, Dean? Come on, man. Give us something before we go to these slides right quick. Man, what we at, Dean? Did you see the clip that I played when we first came on, Dave? I'm not sure how long you been in here.
What clip was that?
The shit in Mississippi today, man.
No, I ain't even see that. I don't know how I missed it because I was here from the beginning. I don't know. I must have walked off or something.
I'll run it before we move on to the next slide.
Okay.
Thing about that, I mean, the person, the hanging person was one thing, but to see the fucking police car in the yard was a whole different level of energy. Like, what the fuck?
That should tell you something.
You know, I'm like, damn, I see but there's a whole fucking police officer.
Now, can I say something right quick? Because I was having this conversation earlier. Now, we be talking about the media, right, and how we get information, right? And so that whole little scene that we just saw right there, right? None of us was actually, and I be pissing people off with this statement, but none of us was actually right there to say that this actually happened. But when we get in conversations about these things, people really do get in their emotions and feelings about these things as if they actually saw it. And it's a difference in seeing it on TV and actually seeing it. You understand what I'm trying to say?
I get you.
I'm not doubting. I'm just saying, the psychology of it. Like, you know, like if somebody was trying to enrage people or get people mad, then, you know, what could they show them? What could they shock them with and get them in their emotions? And you got people that's playing these type of games. And I'm not saying that police didn't have that hanging thing, you know. You know, you feel me? You feel what I'm saying? Because we're talking about. I was having a discussion today about what we see via the media, and that comes back down to what Kanye is talking about and who controls what we see via the media, because they own the whole gamut of what we see and what we hear.
Right. So I took that screen recording from a live video of someone on live. And I'm like, damn, let me go screen record this shit, because I'm from the South, born and raised in Louisiana, a country town that's still segregated right now to this day. I tell people that all the time. They did a whole little documentary about the little town I'm from on CNN called Income and Equality. And it tells you about how this town is still separated.
Mm-hmm.
You got blacks on one side, you got the whites on the other side.
Mm-hmm.
Separated by a lake. That's the only difference. So when I see shit like that, I know it exists because I know where I come from.
Well,
it don't you talk about like Mississippi, Louisiana, it's
right,
still
down south. Yeah, we up north.
You know, up north is different.
Right. That's what I want to ask you. I want to ask you because
that's why I tell people the biggest thing when I moved up north, it was different. But it wouldn't have been different if I never lived down south.
Absolutely.
See, the racism down south is not hidden. You're going to see Confederate flags. They have a whole goddamn Confederate parade. All that shit. They don't hide it in the South. Now, when I moved up north, you have people like the people they socialize amongst you, laughing with you and everything. You know what I'm saying? And then all of a sudden, when they get comfortable with you and comfortable around you, then you will hear the slick shit they say.
Right. Let me ask you this. Let me ask you this. By you being from the South and I'm up here from the North, Chicago, I have never actually really seen a Ku Klux Klan. I ain't never actually seen nobody get hung. I done been stopped by racist cops, of course. I done been, mistreated by the police, no doubt. Have you ever seen that when you was down there? Like, being from the South, have you seen somebody get hung or the police do something like that?
No, I've never seen somebody get hung, but I've seen situations when I was places where I wasn't supposed to be. You know what I'm saying? It's a thing in the South when you're coming up. Your parents and your grandparents, they tell you where you can go and where you can't go.
Yeah,
where not to get caught at, where you can't get caught at a certain time of night, and where you know your boundaries. You have to learn your boundaries when you're in the South, because if you get caught in the wrong area at the wrong time of night, then guess what? Somebody might just find your ass somewhere.
Yeah, it's like that up here too.
It happened.
Yeah, it still happen in Chicago too.
So the thing is, down south is just, when you talk about this whole thing as far as what we're seeing, as far as things like this, it's so different. But like even when I moved up north, I've been told, hey, don't go here, don't go there. But I've been pulled over by officers, and you be nervous because you thinking because somebody told you this, that, and the third, but I had a different experience. So I can't say that every time something happened, it had been one thing, but I have been pulled over and motherfucker told me, get my black ass from off this side of town and don't come back. That did happen to me before. But it's so the dynamic of it is so different. And I'm telling you, like the biggest blessing is, like I say, being able to see both sides of the pole when you talk about coming from where I come from in Louisiana versus moving to where I moved in Minnesota. And then it made me curious. I started to research Minnesota. Come to find out, Minnesota was quite a racist place at one point in time.
Mm. I can believe that.
I'm like, damn. I like then it makes me understand now why people act and move the way that they move. I tell you a story like this one time. I worked at this single plant up there for like 4 years. So my coworkers, which were all Caucasian, and always asked me, "Hey man, you want to come hang out? You want to come hang out?" I would always like, no. I really just didn't get into the socializing with coworkers there. You know what I'm saying? We work enough.
Right.
It's already bad enough we work together. You know. So one day he just convinced me. Like convinced me to come by. So it was only now out of 12 or 13 guys that worked on our shift, it was only 2 of us that was minority. So they invited both of us. So we, this so happened we decided to go. So we get over there, we talking shit, watching football, they paying little bill games and shit like that. But I'm gonna tell you something about me. I don't drink. I don't drink beer and I don't get drunk when I'm somewhere I haven't never been before. So I'm drinking water. They drinking beer, having beers, but I told the dude that I was with, I say when they get comfortable, but they drinking these beers pretty fast. They drinking Fireball, all type of shit. I told him, man, you get you a beer or two. I say, but don't get comfortable because guess what? When they start to drinking, their true self gonna come out. So the dude, like the guy name was Robert, but he was from Minnesota. He never lived in the South. But I'm telling him, like, I can see how they going because they study, they tiptoeing the line as the night continue to go. You feel what I'm saying? They tiptoeing, but they not crossing that line. So they like, man, who want to play some cards? So they like, what? I'm like, well, shit, what cards we finna play? Like, shit, we want to play spades or some shit like that. I said, okay. So we go to sit down at the chair. All of them got chairs, right? They sitting down in little plastic chairs. They pull up 2 chairs with some fucking monkeys on it, gonna say this for the black people.
Oh nah, I'll smack this shit. I don't wanna. Nah, they crazy.
Yeah.
I say, you know what? But see, I had to use my brain because first of all, if I'm gonna do something, if I'm gonna risk it all, I'm not gonna risk it all on your property where you can fucking kill me, and then you gonna be free. I told the other dude, I said, man, I don't know what the fuck you finna do, but I'm finna get the fuck from out here. I went to work, I reported the motherfuckers to HR, motherfucker. That dude somewhere right now, goddamn it, doing house molding and house trimming or some shit.
Damn.
Yo, Vi, you can hear me?
I can hear you now.
Oh, all right, bet.
Yeah, but my homeboy, I don't even know if the other dude got up and left or not, but I got the fuck from up out of there because at the end of the day, what I really wanted to do, I had to really tell I was in a lose-lose situation. First of all, I'm in a motherfucking garage with all these motherfucking people that don't look like me. Then the only person in here that do look like me, shit, he look like he ain't about shit. Cause I'm the only one speaking up. He ain't saying shit.
See, it's crazy. See, like where I'm from Brooklyn, but where I live right now, I live in Queens right now. Where I live, like, it's funny. Like right across the street is the projects, and then right across the street is like it's a co-op building. Is where I live, and it's like majority of the people is white. Like literally, right across the street is the projects, and then right across the street is co-op buildings. But up here in New York, the racism is so hidden. Like it's so hidden. Like it. But when you go up north by like Buffalo, Syracuse, Rochester, and all that, they racist up there. Like It's no hiding it racist, and they really be thinking they better than you. Even the black people up north, like you got these fucking black, I don't know what the motherfuckers is when you
Hey,
go up
but
north.
that's the worst kind though.
But no, no, no,
That's
no,
the
no, no,
worst
no.
kind of racist
Yo,
person.
vibe. Listen. So boom, if you go try tell them motherfuckers they black, you know what they gonna look at you and tell you? Oh no, I'm an Oreo. I'm French Canadian.
Shit crazy, man. It's so crazy, bro. But you get put in these situations, like this, and like similar situation. You sit here, you really have to, it's some shit that like people like David say, man, it's one of them things like you have to see it. Seeing it on TV and shit like that is one thing, but to see it in real life or hear some shit like that in real life is like a whole nother
Now that
thing. You know what I'm
now
saying?
I ain't gonna lie, Va. That's one. I'm not gonna lie, Va. I only got one true friend that's like white. We talking about like true. Like this, my man's. Like we didn't did like everything under the sun with him. Other than that, like no disrespect to like white people, like I don't get too familiar with them. No, like you get what I'm saying, because it's as you said, they tiptoe around the line, and it's like my girl always say, she like yo white people everything is always so passive aggressive, and then it's like yo, it's just always some racist shit that come out afterwards. It's just always. So that's why it ain't like I just stick to myself or people that's of my color. There's only one true like, and this is my man's. I'll go to bat for him. I always say it in front of people. I be like, this motherfucker was a racist this whole time. He disguised this shit so very good. Cause it's like I'm talking about this been my man's forever. But other than that, it ain't like as they always say, like I feel no funny shit. I don't feel black people could be racist. Because when you look at the real definition of racism, people don't really know the real definition of racism. But I ain't gonna say too much.
I say, man, racist is people who think about race all the time. I don't care what color you is. If you is always just like somebody who identified by sex all the time, you sexist. If you identify by what type of sex you like to have, that's a sexist person. If you identify yourself by your color and your color only, you a racist person. You know what I'm saying? I'm like Martin Luther King. The character is what matters to me. This is how you choose real people to be around you. Like if I was to go create a whole nother planet, I would not take only black people with me.
I agree with you, David. I'm 100% agree with you on that one. I'm just
Yeah.
saying, like, off of my counter, like when it comes to it, I don't try to like fool with them too much. Just off of my experience, because it's
Mm-hmm.
like if it's like, yo, David, it's like, all right, how can I put it? It's like you go chill with a set of people every single time, 10 times in a row, and then 9 times, like it's like, yo, damn, like then you start thinking to yourself, like, why am I keep putting myself in this position if I'm expecting different results, different
Results. Right.
outcomes? You get what I'm saying? It's
Right.
like I
That
don't
shit
like.
happened to me one time, and that was it. I can no longer put myself around. Oh, was just a mistake. Oh, no. It ain't no mistake because you did what you wanted to do.
Facts.
Mm-hmm.
It just like
I
I went to my freshman year. I went to school with nothing but Spanish people. Mind you, I'm like it's like probably me and 3 other black kids in the whole school. It was a brand new school, and every single time I had to like one day I had to really like I really got up and like me and my ex were talking about this other day. She's like, yo, remember you choked the boy out in class? I was like, yo, every single time, like there was a bunch of them. Everything that came out their mouth was some type of black joke. So I'm like, yo, I don't find that funny. Why is it every single time there's some type of black joke, like what the case may be? And I'm like, yo, what y'all think? I'm a clown or something? And it's especially around the time I think, because Obama was running, this was right around the time when I was a freshman, Obama just like ran for presidency. So I'm starting to think to like, yo, why is this like a joke every 5 seconds towards black people? So I started really getting like upset. So I'm like, yo, not that I told her, I gave a warning. I said, yo, the next time y'all say something out your mouth that's like, you feel me, racist, I said I'm gonna put hands and feet on one of y'all. So they thought I was joking. They thought I was joking. So the next time, this was my like this was somebody I never really liked son like that. I never really liked them. Man, I got about I choked his ass out in the classroom. I had to call my mom and all types of shit. I'm just like, yo, no funny shit. I'm like, I don't find like, cause it's like, yo, every time it's a joke, why you can't just joke on certain things? Why is every time you joking, it gotta be towards my color, my race? You get what I'm saying? Like that shit. I don't.
Hey, let me just interject. Can y'all see Martin Lawrence and all the greats, how they were always jug at white people in the crowd? Got my white people in the house, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
But, you know, so it's like, man, it's really like, man, black people are racist. A lot of black people are racist. Now, I know they say they can't be racist, so I'll say prejudice. Can I say that?
I agree with you on that one, David. That sounds not. I want you to go, but I'm gonna say something right after you, David. Keep going.
Okay, so I'll be just trying to like step back because I know that, man, when we talk about race, we get emotionally tied to it real quick, and it'd be hard to get to the rational, reasonable part to be able to step back and really accurately look at things and gather information and learn how to move past it or learn how to counter that, because it actually blocks progress when we deal with it like that. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah, but I think you said a good thing. Prejudice is more so a thing, but we can't disassociate the likelihood of one of us being in the wrong place at the wrong time, pulled over by cops who don't look like us, and say,
I mean, neither can a gazelle. Neither can a gazelle. You know what I'm saying? It's like certain things in the world, right, that we pay a lot of attention to. But if we just apply the law of the jungle to our lives, man, we'll better be equipped to deal with.
But
we know that we have.
Though, it's a big difference, though, brother David. I know that you want to you want to understand, and we want to hope that it could be a balance with this shit. But me, growing up, I can say I spent most of my adult life up north, but growing up, where I see situations where these type of things have took place, that when you got two people who committed the same crime, but since one has, represent one thing and the other, they family, and I hate to get even personal with this, but my grandma died in a tragic accident, right?
Right.
Okay. Somebody, a car came into the lane that she was traveling in with other people.
Sorry for your loss, Pa.
And my grandmother, the car that she was in, trying to avoid from hitting these people that came into the lane they was in, which caused my grandma and them flipped over, whatever. So this young lady admitted that she was trying to reach back and give her daughter a bottle while she was driving, accidentally swerved into my grandparents' lane. But you know what happened when that situation happened? They said that, she was 17 years old, had a baby. But guess who her father was? Her father owned one of the biggest goddamn harvesting plants in the little town that we from. So you know what happened? Even though she gave it a statement admitting to what had happened, they blamed the person who was driving my grandmother and them in the vehicle for the death of my grandmother, only because if she wouldn't have been who she was and related to who she was related to, do you think that the outcome would have been the same?
No, I don't. Man.
And she
I
gave a
don't know.
statement now. She didn't, this ain't hearsay. This shit was all on record. My family had to get a lawyer. Had to pay down there $20,000 for an attorney. When this young lady went on record, they
Okay,
sent her to they sent her to a mental institution and had her try to plead insanity to avoid facing consequences for what she did. I ain't gonna say what she did, try to avoid her facing consequences for the accident that she caused.
yeah, I don't want to say that. It could have been. They probably would have slammed it if it was the other way around. But let me give an example of what I mean. One time I was in McDonald's, right, and it was a little crowded, and it was like a white guy. All right, so and he ordered his food, and we had all been waiting for our food for a minute, so everybody was kind of like having a little attitude or whatever. You know how it is, right? You wait for your food and shit. And so they finally get the man his food. He leaves out the store. He comes back in the store and he said it to the young lady, "Look, ma'am, you gave me the wrong thing." Woo woo. Now the young black girl instantly got it, snappy with the dude because she was under a lot of pressure too, because everything wasn't moving like it was supposed to. The flow wasn't there. So she's feeling the pressure from everybody looking at her, and and she's giving the energy back. You know what I'm saying? But the white dude is really not tripping. He just like, man, I got the wrong woo woo, right? So by her getting loud with the white guy, one of the other black guys was in the store immediately came up to the white guy and started getting in his face like he wanted to fight him because of the young black girl and what she was saying, when the white guy was not in the wrong at all. Now, when I had to stop him, and since he knew me, he stopped because he knew me. I'm like, man, don't do that, woo, woo, woo. And I explained the situation to him and avoid the whole thing. So that's what I'm saying. A lot of times, if you just jump in just because some racial things, you'll actually end up mishandling justice. A lot of times we on this channel, we're talking about justice. We want justice for our guys, and at the same time, we want to be just in our dealing with information and things that we see. So that's the only thing I'm saying. I'm black, and I'm just saying I'm a spectator, and I'm looking at things. I'm stepping back.
I think it should be fair. It should be fair all the way. It should be fair all the way around the board. But one of the biggest things in the South, and I'm gonna say this before we move on to like the next little clip. One thing about the South, I'm gonna tell you some shit, and I'm gonna tell you the truest thing that I can ever tell you about the South. The South is about money.
Right.
If you got money, you have power. And when it comes to these little country towns, if you got wealth in these little country towns, you got power.
So is that racism or classism?
I mean, it can be classism, but you can't consider class if I'm innocent or two people being charged with the same crime for the same exact crime, and one gets sentenced to goddamn 10 to 15 years, and the other one gets sentenced to goddamn 3 to 5 years just because of who his people is. That's never gonna be fair.
That's wrong. That's super wrong. That's wrong.
And that's just something that's one of the biggest things that we have in the South, especially in Louisiana, is over sentencing of brothers versus the counterpart with the same people who committed the same crime.
So I think we had the same enemy a lot of the times. Like in my mind, the government is the white man that we talk about all the time. It's not the actual white man that we may see. It's like because he only worked for the government. You know what I'm saying? So, and just like he worked for the government, you got all colors of people working for the government, the actual government agents. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I've come to look at in my later life. Like when I say white man, because I was always trying to identify the white man. But now we see a clearer picture and focus when Kanye starts to talk about the red media and it being owned by the Jews, and it's still
hold
comes
on,
back
David, don't
down.
go too fast. David, don't go too fast. We finna go to that. We finna go to that.
Okay.
We finna go to that. Sir Miguel sitting back chilling. Let's go to this clip. Let me see. Let's go to it. We finna go to it.
Vi, you know I always say it. Who run? People don't even be knowing who runs the FBI or Jews.
Right.
Here we go right here.
Boom.
So there's a whole world out there that's condemning you for what you said.
Okay, so this right here is a chart of Universal Studios, 20th Century Fox, ABC News, CBS News, Columbia Pictures, Warner Brothers, ESPN Sports, Fox News, Washington Post, Metro Goldwyn Mayer, MTV Music Television, Nickelodeon, USA Today, Wall Street Journal, Comedy Central, NBC Entertainment, Google, what else do we have? Disney, ABC Kids and Family, YouTube, Los Angeles Times, Discovery Network, Paramount Pictures, Facebook, Huffington Post, Yahoo, Marvel, Hulu, Cosmopolitan, Time, Touchstone, Associated Press, Pixar, Miramax, HBO, New York Post, LucasArts, MSNBC, DreamWorks Animation. Now the thing is, I skipped over maybe about 5 of them because it was just unclear on this list. The red are the executives that are Jewish at these companies.
That's damn near everything. That's damn near everything on the fucking television.
My point. That goes back to my point earlier. What are we seeing? Are we seeing? I just wrote down bearing false witness. You know what bearing false witness is?
Right, but that's just somebody that just ain't you saying that you saw something that really wasn't what you saw, or
exactly.
But see, now one thing we have to do this before we go forward.
Okay.
We have to separate television from live feed. Television is programming, but actual live video is a live video. This is right now. Now, television is programming, edited, scripted. You coming from a teleprompter. But when we talk about live feed, this is something live feed that's actually going on in real time.
Can you now? I guess right here I'm playing devil's advocate because I agree with you. I'm saying, can you tap into live feed? Can you like we talking about R. Kelly's tape, so-called tape, doctor tape or whatever? Can you do these type of things? Does the people who have power over the media, over what we see?
No, because live feed is if once the live feed goes off, then it's no longer a live feed. It's stored.
Okay,
but
so like
but this is the only way you can capture live feed is if like people like right now we are on a live feed.
Now. Right. So what Kanye did was a live feed.
What Kanye did was a live feed. What Kanye did was it was some people going live, but you could say it was reporters, TMZ, whoever, whatever. Right. I don't know who all was out there recording Kanye West's when he was giving that statement, but I was going back. What I watched, what I ended up coming across was someone that I'm friends with on my Instagram that was on live. And they happened to be from Mississippi, and they were just riding, and they were like, whoa. They bagged up, they bagged up, they started putting phone on, started going live. They say, I got to turn around and show y'all what I just saw. Now they are on live in real time. Boom, you go back. They pass back. But I'm like, damn. But see, one thing about it's so, I know sometimes it's just like, damn, do you want to look at this like that? Or is it like that or is it really like that? But like you say, I feel the same way. I would feel the same way about certain things if it was something that was edited, like, or somebody cropped it out or things like that. But when you talk about what we saw on that first clip that I played earlier, like, I ain't gonna lie, it's almost like a normal thing. Like, the next time I go to Louisiana, right, I'm gonna go live on my YouTube and I'm gonna show you the fucking Confederate town. And when you walk, that you ride in this town, from the time you enter in, they got all type of Confederate flags and all type of racist shit.
Let me ask you something about. Let me ask you something about that. Are you intimidated by that?
I'm traveling, so I'm gonna go where I'm going.
But I'm saying, I know, and traveling, right? It might be a little leery, but you know, if you come to Chicago, you're gonna go somewhere. They're gonna have, I mean, just hypothetically speaking, GD flags. You wouldn't go over there. You would. So I'm saying, I believe that people had a right to exist if they, no matter how they think, really. You know what I'm saying? And they had a right to voice their opinion, how they feel. I'm a person who strongly believe in your right to feel, think, and say what you want. Now,
so why did people protest? So if people can express how they feel, right? You got a good point.
Right.
So Sir Miguel, y'all can probably chip in on this. So why were black people down there asking them to take down their Confederate statues? And we trying to change what's going on in the world. Why take down the statues if you still gonna have the flags up?
Absolutely, that's my thing. I feel like, okay, go ahead, Sir Miguel.
Here's the thing too, and I don't know if and I've been kind of researching this, but I don't know if a lot of people know that if you look at the Confederate flag, they picked it up from the Indians down in the South way before they even started using it, and they sort of changed it. So you can do your homework on that too. But I'm in agreement with y'all. If they're gonna get rid of the statue, then get rid of the flag. But they're gonna sit there and say, "Oh, it's part of their heritage and all this other kind of shit." But there's more to it than that.
If you're gonna keep if y'all keep the flags, you might as well left the statue.
That's it.
Might as well.
My thing is, remove not the old landmarks. Those are landmarks. Those are times in our history, and that's what we were, and we graduated past that point.
But why remove it though? Because guess what? Your grandkids ain't gonna be able to go back and see what the real slavery was, what the real history of our ancestors. Who was the real oppressor?
Well, I mean,
why erase history to make it better to show these people in a different light?
Sure. I agree with you. Sure. So I'm saying,
that's a good point.
So remove not the old landmark. That's a biblical thought. And it says, and it's for that reason, so that you don't forget the past, that you don't forget where you came from, and don't forget the ones who have wronged you, not in the sense that you want to wrong them back, but that you know how people are, so you know how you got to move. And if you remove that, you'll forget that, and it'll happen again. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I'm against that. And plus I am a component for. I believe that you can feel, think, and say what you want to say in America. That's one of the things that we have a right to say. Now I know that people have.
That's the one illusion that's really being proven right now throughout the whole world. You don't have the right to say what you want to say.
They say that we really have the freedom of speech, but
that's
we really
the biggest
don't.
illusion right there. Ain't nothing free. Ain't nothing free in this country.
My thing is, okay, you gonna let them take that illusion from you, and then you gonna be shut up for real, or is I'm riding with the idea that I'm under that fact that I can right now, while I can, I'm gonna speak my mind. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna state my opinion, regardless of who it may offend, because I feel like anybody in America have that right to they feeling, to their opinion, to what they want to say. Now, You do not have the right to go outside your body and hurt me. We have laws that's supposed to arrest you and try you in the court of law for that. You know what I'm saying? That's the boundary right there. And that's the safeguard from your ideas overtaking mine. You know what I'm saying? But we have the right as men in America to say and feel what we want. You know what I'm saying? If nothing else, black people especially, if they take our voice from us, our so-called voice from us right now, which Kanye is fighting for right now at that level, and my man fighting, you know, on his level, we fighting for our voice. You know, no, you can't shut us up. We're gonna take it to the world stage. We're gonna take it to the to that, what's that court? What's that like the international type of court or something? I don't know. What is it called? You know what I'm talking about? That
I know what you're talking about. I just can't think of the name of it.
man.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Appeal to the higher courts or whatever about our plight here in America. You know what I'm saying? Because it definitely is going on. I'm not, you know, we see what's going on with R. Kelly. We see what's going on with Ye. So I ain't slow by no stretch of the imagination as far as racism and all that stuff.
Man, you better not get out of here, man, talk about you. We know your ass ain't slow, boy.
But he just shed a light on that Jew situation, man. That's really need to be talked about. That really kind of narrows it down to the people that's really doing harm. And I believe they hiding behind white people. In a sense, like a chessboard, how you had the black and white squares, but you playing both of them against each other. You know what I'm saying? Not all of them, not all of them, but the ones who are in business, especially in the entertainment business. You know what I'm saying? Where they mess with people's minds with the music and the visionaries and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? So man, and so
Minister,
go ahead,
Minister,
Dean. I'm gonna drop another clip when you get done, Dean.
Now I was saying I 100% agree with what he said. I don't know if he's basically saying like all right, when you really look at it, real white people, they kind of look like well, my mom used to tell me, she was like, yo, real white people look down on like Italians and Jews and shit like that at a point. But then now they're really trying to, you get what I'm saying? And then certain white people do separate and differentiate themselves from, you get what I'm saying, from Jews and Italians.
But you know why they used to do that though? Because they used to do that because they had the numbers to combat. But now if you research the amount of births by the year, when you talk about our people versus their people, their numbers are fucking falling drastically. So now they are allowing others from different ethnicities outside of our ethnicity to identify with them.
Whites.
Facts, and that you perfectly said.
You see, that's why it look different now. But I got another clip for us. Then we're gonna play this clip. Then we're gonna go back to Kanye.
The vote by October 11th. We gotta have the same energy, if not more energy, that we had for presidential elections during this midterm election, because history right here. I'm talking. Slavery is still legal in America, and it's on the November ballot in 5 states: Louisiana, Alabama, Tennessee, and Oregon. Yeah, you read that correctly. Shout out to Hollywood Unlocked. Slavery is on the ballot for 5 different states. And just to clarify, see, I know what I'm talking about. On November 8th, voters in Alabama, Louisiana, Oregon, Tennessee, and Vermont will decide whether to remove this punishment exception for involuntary servitude from their state constitution. And for y'all that don't know, the 13th Amendment reads, the United States federal government shall prohibit slavery except for punishment and conviction of crime. It is not ironic that the descendants of slaves are most likely to find themselves convicted in a punishment of crime. If you live in Alabama, man, make sure you get registered to vote by October 24th. If you live in Louisiana, make sure you register to vote by October 11th. If you live in Oregon, make sure you register to vote by October 18th. If you live in Tennessee, make sure you register to vote by October 11th. We gotta have the same energy, if not more energy, that we had for presidential elections during this midterm election, because history right here. I'm talking.
It's 2022. The guy told Kanye we don't live in those. We far removed from those times.
Told you, smoking mirrors.
I said, but we all slaves, though. I mean, that's the whole thing. The whole thing, really, the truth is, we all slaves, and we really under the illusion that y'all just talked about.
Right.
We really under the illusion that we free in America, but the truth is we slaves, and the cover is about to come off where we actually see that we slaves. Now, we have to combat that. Now, before, you understand what I'm saying? Because the whole world is going into slavery, and especially if we here in America, the black voice in America, really damn near looking like the savior of the world at this point because of what's in us. I'm just going to say that. Because of what's in us, what we position that in this nation, one of the greatest nations on earth, you know what I'm saying, right now at this present moment, you know what I'm saying? And if they silence us, I think, you know, they could take over the whole world. Now, I'm saying that because I believe that God is in black people. Not that he ain't in no other people, but it's something peculiar about black people if you just look at our present situation here. I mean, damn, it does, if you just step back and look at it, what's being formed out of all that we've been through, this beautiful thing that's coming into picture, man. It's like, man, it's coming right here in America. You know what I'm saying? So, and the enemy don't want it to happen.
And you gotta understand this, right? We all are free as God's children, but we are enslaved by the corporation. We're not enslaved as far as our existence, but we are enslaved by this corporation that governs this country. We got some echo feedback coming in, but you made a good point.
I'm gonna say it like this, right? I was in the penitentiary, and we had freedom. Like, you know, it was a gate, but we can go everywhere. We had street clothes. I had my jewelry on. Sometimes I was smoking weed. We was drinking hooch, nigga. And sometimes you will forget that you was locked up, bro. Mm-hmm. And what I'm saying is, we basically slaves, and there's an invisible fence. We realizing that our voice can only go so far. We realizing that our politicians and our sports players and our
but all of that, it's like now that what you just said, it leads us right back. It leads us right back to what Kanye West said. Exactly. All of that is by choice.
It is. And it ain't now. It is and it ain't. Now
it's all by choice, because guess why?
Why?
If they have succeeded at the ultimate goal. And you know what the ultimate goal was?
What?
The ultimate goal was to keep our culture at war with each other, so that they don't have to worry about us. If we was to ever unite as a race, as an ethnicity, there would be nothing that they could do to stop us. But they know that they have crippled our minds, a lot of our minds. That's why we was talking a while back, Dave. Remember I telling you, I say, man, I always like to talk about the movie The Barbershop, right? I say, now you got Anthony Anderson and the dude, which they didn't know that the ATM machine was empty, right? Mm. But they have a whole ATM machine, $60,000 in it. But they trying to get the ATM machine inside the hotel, and this nigga dropped the ATM machine to go chase a motherfucker over $5. Now, you gotta make that make sense. You finna get caught to go chase somebody over $5. So if you put that into perspective, if we ever had to come together, how many of us do you think can really focus on the enemy without saying, "Oh shit, they go Brian, that nigga on me $100"? Man, see that nigga about." We up here arguing with each other because somebody owed us something or did something to us in the past, and the enemy sitting back over there, they done put their weapons down because they looking at us fuck each other up.
And that's very interesting. It's very interesting. It reminds me of this thing I seen on the Animal Planet, man. It was these 3 cats. It was 2 cats, and they was chasing this one cat. It was 2 boy cats, big cats, and they was going at this one cat, a lady cat, and there was a lion right there. And the boy cats was fighting each other, looking at the girl cat trying to fuck with her, and the lion is just looking at them like, I can't believe this shit. This is, you know, he like looking around like, damn, anybody see this shit? And so while they so distracted, he ended up killing all 3 of the cats because they was not paying attention to the enemy.
Not paying attention to the real enemy.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
They whooping us in that aspect. So we're gonna roll on over to Kanye and see what else Kanye got to say about this media. Man, hey, this a good lie tonight. My guy say that. I gotta take my hat off to y'all, and David was perfect for this live because you gotta have what they call it, when they say this, I'm gonna just play devil's advocate, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But you have to pose those type of questions, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So let's go to see what else Kanye got to speak about, man.
With Adidas today, and I think Adidas felt like because everyone else was ganging up on me that they had the right to just take my designs, and I feel like right now I feel like that was in Christianity we don't say karma, we say you reap what you sow. And I feel like this was God humbling me right now because there's 2 things that are happening. A lot of times when I would say, oh, I'm the richest black man, it would be a defense that I would use for the mental health conversation. To say, oh, you guys say I'm crazy, but look at this, I made money.
That's what I said.
But that is not God-like to be showing off. So if it's not God-like, then God will take that because it's all the church's money, right? So what's happening right now is I'm being humbled. Another thing that's happening is by me being burned to the flesh every single day, it's actually proving what I had to say. So when I went to the mediation, what I want to say is, like, black people are like, okay, Lex Friedman got you to apologize, Pierce Morgan got you to apologize to the Jews, but you never apologized to us about the George Floyd comment that made us feel bad. Now the thing is, okay, I see that video as a black person, it hurts my feelings, and I know that police do attack, and America is generally racist. And I understand that when we got to say Black Lives Matter, that the idea of it made us feel good together as a person, as a people, right? When let me say it so the soundbite is better for you guys. When the idea of Black Lives Matter came out, it made us come together as a people. Now afterwards, yes, there were some things where the money went. There were some things where it was used in order to push us to the Democratic vote. There were people behind it involved. That happened, but the general feeling. So when I said that, and I questioned the death of George Floyd, it hurt my people. It hurt the black people. So I want to apologize to hurting them because right now God has shown me by what Adidas is doing and by what the media is doing, I know how it feels to have a knee on my neck now.
See, oh, you smart as shit.
So I thank you, God, for humbling me and letting me know how it really felt. Because how could the richest black man ever be humbled other than to be made to not be a billionaire in front of everyone off of one comment that actually, if you look at the definition of DEFCON, it means to get extra defense, which obviously I must have needed. Yeah. I must have needed that extra defense.
Are you worried you ruined your legacy, Kanye?
How? Well, stop. I'm not worried. I'm just not worried, period. God is alive. Amen. God runs the world. Amen. You know, God even runs Hollywood.
Amen.
God is alive. And he's using me right now. He chose me for such a time like this to basically for the media to put their knee on my neck, for Adidas to put their knee on my neck. All I ever wanted at Adidas, I left Nike because Nike wouldn't give me a percentage for my shoes when I had the Red October. And my girlfriend at the time was pregnant and I needed to get some money. Because if I was the kid that just had the red shoes, I could have never been a black man wearing a red hat. When the like Nike would have shut me down immediately, right? But because Adidas was a German company, it gave me a little bit more room to be able to express myself and to actually have a political opinion as an American. That I wasn't forced into a political opinion because of the color of my skin. Now let's talk about the red hat, and let's talk about the similarities to the White Lives Matter t-shirt. The thing about the red hat that drove me to a point of exhaustion, which was misdiagnosed by I'm not gonna say what race, what people, doctor, and what hospital, and what media went to. We know I can't say that. It was a Jewish doctor that diagnosed me of having a disorder that would have had me on medication right now. At a time like this, if I was on medication right now, then one pill could have been swapped out and it would be Michael Jackson and Prince all over again. But because I didn't take the misdiagnosis and I didn't take the medication, I'm able to speak to you guys clear of thought and transparently. Now let me talk about the red hat. Wearing the MAGA hat, the way that Hollywood's political agenda attacked me and put me to a point of exhaustion was death by 1,000 cuts. Everyone would say something to me, from a driver to my ex-wife to Adidas. Everyone would say something. So when I wore that White Lives Matter, I said, I'm not going through this again. I'm not going. Hey, y'all gonna leave me alone about my t-shirt. Because what's the point of having influence and having money if people could come up and just pinch you?
But don't you think having influence, you have a responsibility?
And that's the responsibility that I'm taking right here.
Don't you think
That's why you asked that question.
But don't you think it's dangerous rhetoric to be anti-Semitic, to say all lives matter or white lives matter? Come on, no, I'm asking.
Let me answer.
I'm asking an honest question.
Why is saying white lives matter anti-Semitic? That's what you just asked.
I'm not saying that's anti-Semitic.
No, you just said that though.
No, and I misspoke. But I'm saying
no,
to
you
walk
didn't.
around.
That was a
with,
Freudian slip.
I'm trying to correct myself.
Okay,
so I'm saying to walk around with white lives matter.
Do you want to walk back that statement?
Exactly.
Sure, I'll walk.
You got the chance to. You don't have the influence of responsibility.
Do you think maybe that? Do you think maybe that?
But I'm saying, you're wearing the White Lives Matter shirt.
Come on, walk.
And Black Lives Matter, and a lot of people think that you're being anti-black by saying
no. How?
Come on, man.
What you mean? Let him talk. In America, black people don't take all the rights that we have that are actually given to us.
And that's true.
Because we weren't given what we were promised in the first place, which was the 40 acres. Instead, we were given...
And a mule.
And a mule. Instead, we were given projects and bad food and posters of Oprah Winfrey. And also Planned Parenthood. People said to me multiple times, visit the Holocaust Museum. I said, visit our Holocaust Museum. It's called Planned Parenthood. 6 million Jews died in the Holocaust, and I am sorry for your losses. 20 million blacks died to abortion, and Planned Parenthood was made by Margaret Sanger with the real KKK as population control. Margaret Sanger is a eugenics and is working today. The #1 cause of death for black people in America is abortion. The most dangerous place for a black man today, or black baby, black woman, is in their mother's stomach. And that is a programming that's pushed through, I got a new word for 2024, the red media. That is the red media. If you go to Apple right now, go to Apple Music. Let's load up the top 10 songs. I guarantee you they're promoting black serial killing.
Absolutely.
Not just one. They're promoting black. The red media is making money off of blacks being serial killers to each other. Also misogynistic. The red media is making money off of that. And God sees it. But I understand, and I'm not judging, because the oppressed becomes the oppressor. And it is our time now. Blacks are coming into money. We are not scared anymore. And I showed you that I crossed that line. They tried to bankrupt me. They tried to say I was crazy, and I'm alive. We haven't had a full black community since the gentrification of Harlem and Black Wall Street, which was torn down. But I know my brothers, my engineers, my architects, my farmers are gonna rise up. And if it meant they had to take me and drag me like Emmett Till in front of everyone because I whistled, I know my brothers, my engineers, my architects, my scientists, my doctors are gonna rise up and create a power that can make sure that we're not separated.
That goddamn man, look here, man. I'm not here to tell nobody how to feel about what the man talking about, but he hitting on some valid shit. He talking some shit. And if you listen to what he talking, his move right now ain't for right now. This shit, he trying to shape the future.
That's all it's about, is the future, dog.
Man, look here. What war started?
It all go back to perception now. You know, he said that once he watched the Candace Owens documentary, that and that's where the controversial statement came in at, where he said that the knee wasn't really on the neck, and that he seen them slip them fentanyl. It's in the documentary. And I wonder,
it was sad. It actually, like I was telling Sir Miguel and them last week, I said, man, I lived in Minnesota. I said, when the shit first happened, that was the first statement that came out. Even the dude and the girl that was in the truck with him said that he put the shit in his mouth. So they had already started rioting and protesting the simple fact that.
But I'm saying, right? Listen to what I'm saying, right? All right. Now we're going back to the media. We're going back to all them names and all them channels that Kanye just mentioned that's owned by the red media, right?
About 50 of them.
All right. So, you know, at the time with the Floyd situation, it was around election time, right?
Yeah, that shit. Well, I got video on my phone. Let me see.
So all I'm saying is Kanye said in what's the name, that when he saw the documentary, this is when he made the controversial statement about George Floyd. This is what he getting sued for and all that stuff. Now I'm wondering, has anybody watched the documentary? Because I haven't even watched the documentary. I'm just asking if anybody else watched it.
No, I haven't.
All right. One of the things that he said is that one of the things he compares this happening with George Floyd, he compares it with JFK. And he's saying that with JFK, there's at least 100 different documentaries, different angles, different theories about what happened.
But
we only got this one theory of what happened with George Floyd, and it's the narrative that's been pushed to us since the very beginning. They got everybody to riot, they got everybody to rep BLM and tear up everything. So he said, question the narrative in another way. That's what I'm looking at it, to investigate a little bit further, to get a little bit more in depth about what went on over there, because we cannot trust the media to tell us what happened with George Floyd. No matter if they tore up the city and all that shit, no matter if they tore up the city, no matter if, you know, the people went to jail and everything, it's something more behind that situation. You know what I mean?
Oh, I told you what it was. It was gentrification. That shit happened in May of that happened in May of 2020. But I told people, I said, once they build that new Viking stadium, they built the new soccer stadium, they built the new Twin stadium, they got a new Timberwolves stadium. I said, what they did in North Minneapolis and South Minneapolis that I know of from living there is, I say, nah, you mean tell me, only thing got burned down was some of the big only big corporations. Big corporations was burned down. And now if you go to Minneapolis right now where those corporations were, you see townhouses, condominiums. What had happened, they had already started giving the people who was getting housing, they had already started moving them out to the suburbs, because the people in the suburbs had started moving to the inner city. They expanded the train system out to the suburbs. They start selling houses. You know, the housing market's crazy in North Minneapolis and South Minneapolis is what they would consider it something like a war zone. It's killing over there all day, every day. So what they feel is though how they gonna clean it up is by moving the blacks out. And you know, now the people from the suburbs are coming back into the inner city. And now, like the downtown area of Minneapolis, it's gonna I think they said by 2030, you're not gonna be able to even have like personal transportation down there. It's gonna have to be like light rail or the bus, city bus, or like a cab or some shit like that only. Some type of ride share. So the gentrification process, it got kicked into gear once the situation happened with the George Floyd situation. It kicked it in gear.
Yeah, you know what, man? I be thinking like, man, you know, I have heard where people create a problem and then come with a solution, like you're saying. And I believe that these people are pros at creating problems and coming with a solution, and that's what they do. So I believe that's part of the gentrification thing. Obviously, okay, so. But, you know, in the documentary, he was saying, Kanye said that his two roommates were saying they need a tall guy like me. They need somebody tall like me. So he's putting these little clues out there, I'm assuming, for us to investigate.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? I guess he can only say so much. You see how much flack he got immediately from even making a statement. You know, he gets sued for $250 million. That's basically saying, don't go down this road. That's you know what I'm saying? And so, but we can't let that stop us. Maybe it could stop him, you know, but it shouldn't stop the people that's seeing what's going on, you know.
But did you hear what he said when he made the comment as far as, you see how he tied everything together? He said, my Jewish attorney, you know, my Jewish doctor tried to diagnose me with crazy and put me on medication. And he said, if I was to took that medication and came out and said what I said, and then I'm taking that medication, how easy it would be for them to change one pill out, and then I'm like Michael or Prince.
Facts.
So he got people around him trying to kill him.
But the thing about it is, they thinking that he's rich. But see, what I think he did was he played along with them as far as they thinking that they telling him that he's suffering from these illnesses. Okay. But at the same time, he know what's going on.
Right.
I'm not gonna show my hand. See, y'all showing y'all hand what y'all trying to do, but I'm not gonna show my hand.
Facts.
Just know I'm on to y'all. See, that's the shit that happened to Prince. Because if you think about it, allegedly, man, Prince had did a fucking concert the night before.
Mm-hmm.
The next day, they say the man riding around the compound on his bicycle. Then they find him in the fucking elevator, croaked over.
Mm-hmm.
Michael Jackson, he come out and say what he say about Tony Mottola, Sony being mad at him because he a free agent. He owed him one album. He walking away with 50% of their publishing. All of a sudden, he a drug addict.
I think they did Whitney Houston too.
Fact.
Hell yeah.
And her daughter.
Yeah, and the daughter. So that
Just
means
like they did Bill Cosby's son.
Yeah, that means that Bobby probably bogus.
Man, it's some shit deep. It's a deep rabbit hole. And like you say, Kanye West he's shining the light down that hole. And like you say, if something happens to me, y'all know why.
And then look, I just want to say, my man Willie D, man, he disappointed me so badly.
Again?
No, I just said not again. Oh, well, you know, he just a big disappointment basically for the last month. He must be bought paid for too, man, like Charlamagne.
Man, on that list.
Mm-hmm, on that goddamn list.
On that list.
Mm-hmm.
They say Breakfast Club, Rolling Martin.
How can you speak about sticking up for your people and then you attack your people with the white man?
Right.
For the white man. Man, that's the craziest thing in the world, man.
And that's why him the face be at it on that podcast.
Yeah, man.
Texas,
Face my boy, man. And I was just hoping and praying. I said, man, I hope Face ain't but I ain't really been paying attention to the podcast. But I hope he ain't like that, man. Damn, man.
Face be telling Willie D he tripping.
He's tripping, Willie. Willie Silly D. He need to change his name to Silly D, man.
You sound just like that fool.
Hey, let me say this, man. You know, it's funny. You know, earlier I was talking about the White Lives Matter shirt, but what they didn't show you what was on the front of the shirt was the Pope. And that went over a lot of people's head, not realizing that the Pope, who initially had Columbus and all of them go out to these different countries, to say that the country that wasn't a Christian nation, you take it over. Not only was it a physical slavery, but the mental slavery itself. You see, they caught everybody's attention by showing the back of the shirt, but not showing the front of the shirt till 2 days later. And people wasn't thinking. Kanye had a message there, but everybody missed it.
And they intentionally did that because they wanted his own people to tarnish him the way that they did.
The way they did. Man, they whooped Kanye ass, boy. Golly, man.
And they know their mission will be accomplished.
Mm-hmm.
Because we don't.
I think it's gonna fail. I think we win, man. I think we win it big time.
That's the same thing I said. Even with I got the next clip. He gonna talk about these people, these Jews. He gonna talk about Bill Cosby, what they did to Bill and R. Kelly. He gonna speak on it.
Nah,
he sure did, didn't he, man?
Mm-hmm.
I was so happy about that. He was like talking about the the surviving R. Kelly. He said surviving Bill Cosby though. He said
He
surviving
said
Bill Cosby
surviving
first.
Bill
He
Cosby,
said,
Yeah, he
surviving
said
R.
R.
Kelly.
Kelly. Yeah.
He said, have you ever seen a black person make a surviving a Jew?
never.
But then when he said that, it goes back to all of those media outlets that are controlled by those people.
Exactly.
Who has the power, like that guy, Ari Manuel, to come out and make a statement to have him banned from everybody that's associated with him, and everybody take suit.
Yo, Vi.
But if a black man come out and say, I need all my brothers to get y'all guns together, we going to the White House, they gonna have security set up goddamn 12 blocks away. When have you ever seen what we saw last year when we saw and witnessed the attack on the White House? Y'all still there?
Yeah.
Yeah, no,
Now,
I'm listening.
if we look back at the attack on the White House, if those people look like us, we would have been looking at a massacre, man.
Facts.
It wouldn't have been no retreat to get to a safer position. Soon as we cross that line, tell them about the gun line, boss. Oh, this here gun line don't need no fence.
So true.
Now, when those people go and do what they did, just like this man, Ari Emanuel, come out and make the statement he did, and all these people several times, it only proved what Kanye West was trying to say.
And that's why I wished when he brought it up, when they talk about anti-Semitic, I wish people would understand and go back who the Semitic people really are at the end of the day. Right. So they twisting it, because you got the Anti-Defamation League, which is ran by the Jews, and I'll say so-called Jews, because the real Jew is really black anyway at the end of the day. So we can cut the chase on that, but they want to flip the script and make it about them.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So just like even with Kyrie Irving, same shit.
Jackie say, how about roadblocks set up at the state line? We can't get close to the White
House. So they doing the same thing to Kyrie Irving. But
I
it's
heard. I didn't hear what he said though.
He put up a thing about From Hebrew to Negro. It's a documentary, and he put it up on Twitter. So the next thing you know, they trying to say he talking about he anti-Semitic based on what he posted, and then like he said, oh, y'all want to talk about that, but then you see nigga being put up on Twitter all over the place, but y'all not talking about that. Did I commit a crime? Did I commit a crime? Did I go out and hurt somebody? Did I go out and harm somebody? No. So what happened? Adam Silver and them turn around and say what they said. You know what I'm saying? I'm sitting there saying to myself, everybody got this whole anti-Semitic shit all fucked up and twisted up. The Semitic people are Arabs, North Africa, Ethiopia, all of Sub-Saharan desert and all that shit. But no Afro-Asian, Afro-Asiatic or whatever the case may be. Nobody's speaking on that and not speaking the real truth of what it really is. So a black person can't be anti-Semitic because they are Semitic people. Period. Now, if you want to come at me on it, bring it, because I can back it up. I do my homework.
But you know they gonna definitely paint Kyrie as a villain because you know America hate Muslims. I just really feel like that.
Well, hell, at the end of the day, they hate anybody that comes up and not only speak their mind, but speak the truth. But people don't want to hear the truth because it's gonna hurt.
Facts.
Because it's really
Yeah.
they just flipped it. They're trying to rewrite history to make them look like the victor, but when in reality, we are the victors anyway. We are the victory anyway.
100% agree with you, sir.
History,
Miguel.
history just since fucking started with slavery. That's what they want us to think. But our history started way before that.
Mm-hmm.
They don't want you talking about the Moors. They don't want you talking about shit. Just lost my damn train of thought. The Kemetic people. They don't want you talking about none of that.
They make it seem like history just started in 1900. That exact year.
For exactly 1492 and shit.
Facts.
But if you take your ass to the library and sit down and go through some of them books and go through some of them microfilms, you'll find a whole lot of shit that they don't tell you in the classroom about us.
Facts. Like I was saying, sir Miguel, I was sitting there saying, like, I was saying, like, to my mans, I was like, yo, are they really, really mad? Or are they really, really mad that he's really enlightening people, that letting people know that, you get what I'm saying? That like, that letting everybody know that black people are the original Jews. Because if you sit here and tell people that's from my generation, a lot of people don't know shit like that, and it's really the truth though.
Right.
So you get what I'm saying? Are they mad that he's making racist comments, or he's enlightening people, letting, you know, like, they want to be seen as, oh, the founders of being Jewish, like a white man is the founder of being Jewish. No.
They're mad because he's enlightening people.
Exactly.
But unfortunately, and I hate to say this, and I hate to be critical, but unfortunately, social media has made a lot of people dumb.
Right.
And when I say that, because a lot of people don't like to read. Everything that's displayed on social media is either it's like a short soundbite or what somebody said or a quick picture.
Go back to what you said about instant gratification.
Exactly.
Instant error.
You know what I'm saying?
I even tell people, like, me and my girl was looking, I was like, yo, you, like, when I was listening to Lord Jamar talk before, he was like, yo, he said, yo, black people can't come from white people. He said a white person can come from a black person. That's how you know, what you call it, black man's original race. If you really even look at Jews, out of all white people, Jews have the thickest hair. If you really look at that, out of all black people, some of them have like really thick hair, like a black person.
I don't even know those Jewish people.
Oh, nah, I'm from New York. You see, they damn near took over the whole New York.
Oh yeah, I seen that. I did see that on the thing right there. The man exonerated for killing Malcolm X, and they ordered New York to pay that man like $26 million, man. But
what happened?
Right where I live right now, Harvey Weinstein grew up in the same complex.
No shit.
Right where I live right now. Search up. You can search up Harvey Weinstein where he's from, Leicester. Co-op houses. He's from right here. And they
big old Malcolm down there, man. Malcolm chilling and smiling, man.
But yeah, they champion that man like he ain't do nothing wrong. And he gonna
J
and
Rock
he
say they better get ready. They got New York will have to get ready to open that checkbook for R. Kelly. Hell yeah. They gonna be
Sure
paying out a
will.
lot of money.
And you see how slowly stuff is starting to come out now. I don't know if you watched his brother speak on HN over the weekend.
facts, sir, Miguel. I seen that.
Shit,
Bruce was talking nothing
boy,
but facts.
boom.
I did watch it. I just didn't like the messy part of it. You know, I just wish it would have
Yeah.
just stayed focused on R. Kelly and just the things involving with R. Kelly. But
You
could tell
I'm telling you, I could see his anger and his hurt, because he really is like, yo, you gotta sit there and look at it. I really felt him 100%, because he like, yo, my brother was an icon at one point. Like, to go from that to this, like, you could only imagine. Yo, you got to think.
But see, you can't. But see, one thing about it. But one thing about that being,
we as fans are hurt.
It goes back to what David was saying, and the same thing Sir Miguel said. Why you gonna feel that way now when you could have done something to prevent that shit then?
True.
Of course, you gonna feel guilt now, because what did you do to prevent? What did you do to help the situation when you could have helped the situation? See, when everybody was around and everything was going good, but nobody thinking about what if it go bad.
Of course, you never gonna think about that though, Vi.
But that's not the ideal thing to do, because guess what, Dean? If me and you brothers, you know my challenges. These other people may not know.
True.
So that means you supposed to be in the best interest of me.
Facts.
I'm not condemning the brother for nothing that he said, but one thing I understand is this: if you my brother, I know where you come from. I know what you've been through. We come from the same environment. So ain't no way that I could allow these blood suckers to get in and suck blood from you. And when I'm getting my check, I'm just getting my check and I'm going on about my business, not understanding that my brother is the asset, not these other people. We have to protect, just like we say we got to protect Kanye. When you understand your brother is the asset, you got to protect your brother. Certain things, I feel like a lot of things happened to R. Kelly because the man was put in vulnerable situations. When we talk about him going to prison, you redirecting millions of dollars to, now that me and J Rock and Sir Miguel understand, these goddamn dudes he was trusting ain't even his friends.
Facts.
But you got millions of dollars going into accounts that's attached to them.
You got to look at it like this too, Vi. I agree with everything you're saying. I'm not just disputing what you're saying. All I'm saying is, like, yo, if you look at his background too, I'm not debunking what you're saying. It's basically adding to what you're saying. It's like when you look at it, like when you listen to his people around him talk, it was like he was kind of like a loner, because everybody used to bully him that he couldn't read. So it was like, yo, why when you got on, you start to trust these people? You get what I'm saying?
But look at the motherfucker he came up with, Demetrius Smith.
I feel like a lot of his downfall came from him not knowing how to read. That's my opinion.
But how do you get involved with Demetrius? People? How do you get involved with Demetrius Smith at 16 years old when you got an older brother?
Not knowing how to read. We talking about actual read and write read.
Okay. But you got to keep in mind too, though. When R. Kelly dropped out of school, he was kind of like in the streets singing and stuff. So he was doing his thing. His brothers was doing their thing too, because he even said on the HN thing, he said a lot of times, you know, he would be doing his thing, R. Kelly would be doing his thing, but at the same time, it was always somebody trying to be in his ear about this, that, and the third. So he need to get away from certain things because he didn't like a whole lot of drama either. You know what I'm saying? So if I'm going in one direction and my brother going in another direction, but I'm still kind of there, but not really there, there's no real balance there. You see what I'm saying? Because like he said, he was
around when I looked up some of the records that R. Kelly was putting out around the same time these accusations was around. Shit, Bruce was around because he was on the background vocal credits and everything.
Right, but you also got to remember, if Barry Hankerson was around and all them other cats was around, they probably was telling R. Kelly, hey, you don't need Bruce, blah, 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 whatever. Guarantee it.
Now that you said that, it goes back to that bond, right?
Mm-hmm.
That bond between you and your brother don't supposed to be created once you come into a situation like that. You supposed to already have that, but Demetrius Smith should have never got a hold of R. Kelly. No.
I agree. Brothers could be the worst type of enemies, though.
That's true too.
That's true. That's 100%. Cause ain't nothing like that family sense of entitlement.
Right, and that's what
exactly.
You hear from Carrie.
Imagine how your friends may feel. Imagine how your family may feel.
That's what you hear from Carrie, right?
Like
Carrie
exactly.
mad because R. Kelly wouldn't put him on. R. Kelly can't put you on if you ain't got no talent. That's and there's no knock against his daughter. How can your daddy prevent you from getting a record deal? If you was talented, you gonna get a deal regardless.
Exactly. I feel like she was just saying anything and to throw. You get what I'm saying? Like she was just throwing anything for her failures. Cause it's like, yo, nothing. If Shorty was talented, that would be even a bigger reason why the labels would want to get behind you. Cause it's like, all right, yeah, your dad name, they tarnishing his legacy right now, but it could have been America likes a rewrite story. So if you really had talent like your father, that could have been a rewrite story in history.
Yeah, but that's the whole thing. Like I say, you go back to Carrie. He blaming R. Kelly for him not getting a deal when you ain't even had no talent. Exactly. R. Kelly just can't give you a deal. He just can't put you on.
R. Kelly put him on his 12 play album. R. Kelly put him in music videos. He was trying to, not for nothing. Another thing is though, Kel just had too many bloodsuckers around him. Cause I also feel like, yo, when you get to a certain level, like I always say, when you get to an R. Kelly level, anybody can manage R. Kelly. R. Kelly could have picked you up off the street, Big Vi, and said, "You manage me." You get what I'm saying? At first, like once when you early in your career, you need certain industry people. But by the time TP2 came out when he fired Barry, he could have made Bruce his fucking manager. Bruce knew what he was doing and everything.
Yeah, but then at the same time, like, see, a lot of this shit don't get talked about. When you have addictions and shit like that, you in and out of prison. We talking about Kel being free. This is his first time ever having to do any jail time. But if you go back to Bruce and Carrie, they've been in and out of prison. So it's not it wasn't no. I don't know, somebody got some background noise.
Facts, right? I didn't
know what I'm saying. I can't hear
there were certain things I didn't understand.
Close the door.
Once you in and out of prison, right? You're not even making yourself available to even be there for your brother.
Facts. Cause even when I'm looking at when I'm watching Surviving R. Kelly, I'm just like, yo, why the fuck is his brother sitting in a county jail? Like, you get what I'm saying? I'm just like, yo, unless there could be certain situations where people on straight remand, they ain't give you bail. But I'm just in my head like, but it say he in there for burglary. So I'm doubt they not gonna give you no bail for that. So I'm just like, yo, what the hell he sitting in jail? Like, the situation was broken to me.
But see, that's the thing. And that can happen within any family. One brother could be going in one direction, another one could be going another direction, even though they may have been close. They were still kind of doing their own thing. You know what I'm saying? So something was bound to happen eventually, where it was going to be some shit going on that they had no control over, neither R. Kelly. But the unfortunate part about it, like Dean said, dude, in any business, if you can't read or write, you consider gullible to anybody. You can be had.
Facts.
Right. But you know what though? And I'm playing the devil advocate now though. When you know who the prize, is, all that other shit don't matter. Cause what did Joe Jackson say when the Jackson 5 broke up? Them other boys, they went do what they did, but did he ever let Mike leave? He never let Mike go. He always was there and made sure Mike stayed on task.
But you got to think. But you got to think about it, though, Big
what
Boy.
if he would have allowed Mike to do the same shit that the rest of the brothers did? Would Mike have been as big as he was? People get on Joe ass about how he treated Mike, but what if Joe allowed Mike to just be Mike and do what Mike wanted to do?
True.
You take that discipline away, you got a whole different type of kid.
Facts.
And I get it. I get what you're saying. I agree with you 100%. But every father or every parent ain't gonna be like Joe Jackson or fucking John Morant dad, where he stay on their ass to become a professional, whatever the case may be. You know what I'm saying? It should be that way,
of course,
but it don't go that way all the time.
He
can sing his ass off.
Yeah, his whole family knew he could sing like a motherfucker. So that's
and based on what I heard and what I was told, all the motherfuckers can play instruments too.
And I didn't hear this though. When he was telling the story about his life, they was jealous of him. They all was jealous of him. He talk about his sisters, brothers, all of them. The shit that they used to do to him, just because they knew that he had the gift. They all were telling him, but they knew it was something different about him.
And evidently it had to be because the way his mother was basically teaching him about singing and all this other kind of shit. You know what I'm saying? And she saw something in him that the other ones didn't have.
Because he said, if it weren't for his sister and them treating him the way they treated him, which caused him to be down at the L every day, like he said, it's the shit that they did to him that helped him become who he was. Because he was down there trying to outsing the goddamn light rail because he said he would be in the shower at home and shit. They beating in there, coming in the bathroom on all type of shit because they hated. And, he probably had, there's mama baby. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
She loved him saying they don't like that because it's that jealousy factor. And I can sense that because like we all saying, when it comes to, that favoritism in the household, this shit be obvious sometimes.
Yeah.
Agree. And it causes your brother or your sister to have some type of resentment towards you that you don't even see because you're not looking at it that way. You just doing what you like to do.
Right.
So I agree with I mean that's just a strange family dynamic, with that group of people, and then plus with what took place inside the home between them and their sister and different things like that. But even with that being said, with the sister situation, like, and Bruce, you being the older brother, like, your brother needed a lot more protection than what he got. And like I say, Demetrius Smith was the worst fucking thing that could have ever came into his life at 16 years old.
Facts.
Yeah.
Demetrius the worst type of cat individually. Any man that could sit there and talk about he would kill his friend over especially some petty amount of bread or somebody. Exactly. Not even your friend. Somebody you talking about you looked at as a nephew. You said this is coming out of your mouth. You said you looked at him like as a nephew, as a son, and you could talk about you could kill him over, especially over chips. It's like, yo, bro.
But bro, that just shows you how grimy he is.
Exactly. Not definitely.
You know what I mean? So he didn't care about R. Kelly. He only cared about himself.
Exactly.
So, and if you think about it, if you have that much envy about somebody, then you'll do anything.
Exactly.
Anything. And you hear him even that business. He got this 15-year-old girl pregnant, and he told the girl to go sue R. Kelly.
Exactly.
And then he say, I went and told Rob, I told her to go do it. Man, what the fuck?
No, and it's crazy. Like, no funny shit. This is why I even saying to my mans, like, I was saying, yo, not for nothing. If R. Kelly had the right people around him, that man could have liked 1,000,001 fucking kids in the world he want. The right people around you, it would have never got out or got this far. But due to the fact that he had so much bloodsuckers around him, bro, as I said, it was like, yo, bro, since sometimes we gotta look at it from a perspective. It's like, yo, look at the people. Like, if you want to play the side way against him, sometimes you gotta look at how can they not look at him the way they look at him, due to the fact that it's like, yo, bro, y'all been letting shit get out to the media for years after years after years after years. It's like, yo, damn, like how y'all just letting people just come and take tapes allegedly out of his bag? How y'all letting people just do all of this to this man? I'm like, yo, and it's like, yo, y'all claim this y'all friend, this y'all family. Yo, I'm sorry. I hate to be the I shoulda, coulda, or this would have never happened around me. I guaranteed you, if I was his friend or his family member, I guarantee you, everybody. First of all, for one, anybody knows me, I'm a loner. I don't like people around me. So all the 50 people in the studio, I'd have walked up in the studio. Y'all all gotta go, or I'm there. I'd have been on Kel's ass something different, and he'd have felt it. I'd have been like, yo.
And that's what he needed. That's what he needed. He needed a brother, and his brother would have been someone who genuinely, actually, really cared about his best interest, not people who only cared about if Robert gonna pay me. Everybody around him was on the pay. Did you see how many people was on the payroll when they put that?
Yo, Vi, did you even see his did you see his entourage he used to go to court with? He'd be like 50 motherfuckers.
Everybody on payroll.
Exactly. I'm just in my head like, yo, fuck, you need that many people around you for?
But see, that's why you gotta have somebody around. You know, you gotta have that person who's willing to go down with you, man. Do or die. And it is hard to find them type of people, but you know, it is 1 out of every 50, 1 out of 100. You won't have that one that's gonna be willing to go down with you if that ship started to sink, man. I know it's a very rare thing nowadays, but you know, back when I was growing up, no matter what me and my brother did at home, we can fight every day. We can fight in the house. But guess what? Once we walked out that door, we brothers. We together. If somebody fuck with my brother, they fuck with me. If they fuck with me, they fuck with my brother. That's just what it was. Me and my brother can argue in front of y'all. Guess what my mama say? I don't care how much arguing y'all do outside that door. But when y'all better not fight in front of nobody.
Facts.
Don't never give nobody the notion to feel like they can come between you and your brother. See, the thing with Kel is, man, when his brother started getting mad at him and coming at him like they did, that only opened up the door for the goddamn bloodsuckers.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. You really have to look at a lot of this shit for what it really is, man. I believe those people, you probably had good interest, but and the thing we do, like I was watching that interview and I was just listening, and then you make a statement, say, people, everybody not out here making money off of the backs of R. Kelly. I know a lot of people that I know. I get up and go to work every goddamn day. I don't make money off of this shit, but I do it because, like Saturday night, or what night that was, Sir Miguel, the guy came on who hadn't even been following the case, but he had an opinion.
That was Friday night.
Friday night.
Mm-hmm.
I watched the playback. You talking about the from Sacramento?
Yeah.
That's Friday night.
That was on your son. That was Friday or that was Sunday?
That was Friday.
Yeah, you're right. Friday.
Because J-Rock had hit me up was like, you off the panel. I said, I'm gonna sit back and quiet because I heard this dude talk before,
but not
saying the same shit.
But at first when I was listening to it, I ain't like him. But then as it's going on, he just wanted, as I started to listen, I'm like, oh, he wanted people that just misinformed. Like, you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, cause at first, but he was a lot of times was kind of contradicting himself. Like, there was certain things
true.
like it was very I'm just like, yo, you just said this, but then it's like, all right, if you don't know what you're talking about, it's better you just kept your mouth closed. But it's like, as he was going on, and I'm like, all right, like.
But I didn't want to lose the. I didn't want to lose the direction. I didn't want to lose the direction that we were going in.
But I know you because I heard when he first came in, I'm like, about to go off for him. But then I could hear it in your voice. You caught yourself. You're like, you know what? You get what I'm saying? You just trying to keep it cordial. But I really liked it. It was, you feel me?
I liked it. I swear to God, it turned out to be better than what I expected. And then as the interview went on, then but then they came with the I don't believe you. I didn't want it to go there because I felt like if we would have kept it on playing Demetrius Smith and let him hear that shit, it was gonna eventually make him curious to want to go and find more information about this shit.
Mm-hmm. And that's what I respect the whole thing about how Big Vi did it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? He controlled the room and saying, look, man, let me throw this up here at you, because you can hear some of the contradictions that he was saying. But Big Vi was like, no, listen to this, boom, boom, boom.
Facts.
So I said, you know what? Because I was getting ready to say something else, but I said, no. I said, before I say I'm gonna step off, and I'm just gonna be in the bushes, and I'm gonna pay real close attention. So as Big Vi was doing this thing, I was like, that's how you navigate through the shit.
Facts.
So he can understand that, hey, the information that you're getting ain't really sinking in. Let me give you some real shit that you can really hear and listen and pay attention to what the fuck is really going on.
Facts. No, 100%. Sir Miguel, 100%.
So I appreciate Big Vi for doing that. On the way through.
I was in the bushes that day. And one of the things that you brought to light, Big Vi, was that you said by him being a victim, he remembered exactly what happened.
Fact.
What happened to him. And you was contrasting against those girls who couldn't even keep their story straight. And I think that had made headway with him too.
Exactly.
We get a lot of complaints about background. They saying they can hear, but they can't hear.
Hold on. I'm gonna put my phone on mute because I told my son to put that damn radio down in the bathroom.
Thanks.
Yeah, but that was the biggest thing about it though, David. Was I didn't want him to leave off of the panel with the way he kind of left saying, I feel like I was attacked.
Basically, chastising him. You ain't want him feeling like that.
No, I wanted him to I wanted the shit that we were showing him to be the thing that make him come back on that live and go back to that video and try to go find that video. Like, damn, let me go look up some more of this shit. Because he kept saying, it's like, I can't believe people are really out here supporting and defending this, that, and the third. But I say, well, you know what? I could tell by the way you came in that you resonated with the shit that you heard on throughout the media.
Right.
And then he said that what happened to him, I say, if it makes sense now. Your hostility makes sense now. Right. Why you so hostile about the situation?
Right.
And then he go ahead, Dave.
I figure anybody would be if they don't realize the facts of the case, of the matter of what happened. Because, we don't condone that type of behavior. So if we just go with what the media said and the documentary said, then, we'll come with that attitude. It's only when you start listening to brothers who have a way of explaining it without a whole bunch of attitude and just pointing out facts and irregularities in it that people who reasonable will at least consider it. You know what I mean? And then you convert them by the information that's laid out before them.
Right. Okay. Yeah, as I said, you could just tell he was misinformed. Like it's basically he just going off of what's pushed out from TV. Like he not really look. You get what I'm saying? And then on top of it, him going through allegedly, he said something traumatic happened to him when he was younger. So you get what I'm saying? So it's like, you could just tell he was just misinformed. That's why it's like, 'cause when I first was listening to the playback, I'm like, oh, I wish I was there. I'd have got on his ass. But then as the time going on, I'm like, I feel where you coming from, and I don't like. You get what I'm saying? Like, if you're not lying about it, then I could understand. Like, because
give Kels the same courtesy that you want people to give you. And I understood that's what other people were trying to say, as far as Midas or whatever was trying to say. We give Kels the same courtesy that you want us to give you. And that was like one of the biggest things that, we were trying to say to him. But at the same time, I didn't want him to feel as though, how he started changing the narrative. Like, he just couldn't get over the simple fact that, the person said, I don't believe you're a victim or whatever. He kept going back to that same thing.
But yeah, as I forgot who said it. As they said before, real victims don't get immunity, and real victims don't change their age every 5 seconds.
Or nor do they change their story.
Exactly.
He was rounding up. They were rounding up about. He like, no, I know exactly what happened to me, when it happened to me, the day, the time, everything. I say, okay, then we talking about women who say they went through some traumatic shit, but they round up about a 2-year gap. You got to make that make sense. Then he's like, well, the more and more we started to talk, the more and more he started to second guess. Well, that's true. I understand. He started to understand a little bit of the shit, but like the thing about this type of battle that we are in when it comes to these type of people, you have to put the shit on their brain, but you have to leave it right there. You can't change. You can't make it about nothing else. You drop the information. I should have just ended it when I dropped the information. He watched. He gave his opinion about it. Then I should have just, that was it, because he wasn't gonna be able to unplay what he had just heard. This man testified. Everything that this man said he did was everything R. Kelly was charged for.
Facts.
You can't unplay that. You can't unhear that. You can't unsee it. I played the shit. I got copyright. I can't monetize that shit, but I wanted him to know. Look at this shit. This man talking out of saying from his mouth what he did. He the motherfucker really got these young ass girls pregnant, but then he put it on R. Kelly. This man is admitting to it. You can't. I don't give a damn how goddamn anti R. Kelly you are. You can't deny that the shit that you were hearing from this man mouth, who also testified against R. Kelly and told the judge that R. Kelly had nothing to do with him bribing an official.
Facts.
Then how do you go to saying, well, the ID didn't have if the ID didn't have no age on it, how the fuck did you get a marriage license?
Facts.
They don't want to ask them questions because the popular thing to do is to just bash R. Kelly.
And people don't be knowing annulments can't happen on a weekend, and the day they say the annulment happened was on a weekend. Bro,
yeah, they claimed it happened 3 days later. Then they said it happened at the end of September. So it's always different dates up in the air when it comes to this shit. Everything has a different date on it.
It's just like, as I said though, you could take. It's like, all right, boom. You could take a rape victim. You could take a victim as a person that gets shot in the streets. When you get shot or something traumatic happens, you're not gonna forget the day. You ever listen to a person that gets shot in the streets? They could tell you, say they got shot 3 different times. They could tell you the year and the day and the month every time they got shot. When it's something traumatic like that happens to you, you're not gonna forget.
You know what I found interesting? And Prima Donna had put this on her channel earlier today. You remember when Kim Fox had that press conference?
Facts.
Which one?
And the second one, when she was talking about the charges, and she was describing what one of the victims had said, and she was talking about one of the shirts had R. Kelly semen on it, right?
Right.
But then when she got close to the end, she said the other shirt had semen on it, but she didn't say whose it was or whatever the case may be, right? Didn't mention R. Kelly at all. Like, now peep game. Didn't in the New York trial they said it was the shirt was inconclusive?
Yeah.
See, I knew I wasn't fucking tripping. I knew I wasn't fucking tripping. And the reason why I'm bringing this up is because it's funny how the narrative changed from one thing she said previously. Oh, well, if we don't have the information or people don't come forward, you soliciting people to come forward when there was really no investigation in the first place. But yet and still, you had the so-called secret grand jury doing all the shit while you were saying come forward, but then you also making it personal, bringing in your shit. So at the end of the day, that's a prosecutorial misconduct, number one, because you're supposed to recuse yourself if you've been a rape victim.
Right. She shouldn't have been on that case.
I'm just saying.
But she said she recused herself from the Justice Smollett shit, but then she writing letters to people asking them to get this man leniency. So
right.
She's a clown.
And not only that, she was also in the office in 2008 when the first allegation came out. So if you really think about it, as Prima Donna said earlier, when she put it up on her channel, and I agree with her 100% because I was sort of thinking the same thing, they really didn't have shit in the first place.
She was on the
Sir Miguel, remember?
Yes, sir.
Remember when it first came out? Because you know, I'm being a Cavs fan. I'm like, damn, it's over for my boy. Remember, hundreds of VHS tapes and everything found. Remember, it's over 100. That's what they're saying.
Right.
But if you really speak to everybody in the streets, they still think that to this day. Yeah, didn't they find hundreds of devices? I'm like, and then when it comes to find out, y'all retried them for that same 2008.
Exactly.
Y'all didn't find no hundreds. Because I'm just in my head like, yo, damn, how dumb could Kels be to keep fucking, damn, you get what I'm saying? I'm just like, damn, you really keeping that much child porn in your stash? But it's like, yo, people. Yeah,
Kim Fox was around in 2008.
Yeah, she was in office at that time too.
Oh wow!
So that speaks volumes. If they really had anything on him, and they so-called even had that tape then, if it was that important, they would have came after him again after the first one. But no, look what the fuck they did. They waited. Then they said, "Oh, we knew we don't have shit, so we'll just give it to the federal government."
Facts. Because you know the federal government could convict you of a hearsay. It's just like, look at it. Now, if you notice, right now, you ain't noticed they said, oh, right now, Steven Greenberg and them is in the process of dropping all the state charges. Because they never had nothing from the get-go with the state charges. You know, in the state, you can't bring no hearsay. You're gonna have to bring evidence and substantial evidence. But we all know in the federal government, they can convict you plain off hearsay.
I got one more clip.
That's exactly why they passed it to the feds.
Right.
I got one more clip for us to drop right quick.
Like we are by the red media. That we're never in a situation where off of one tweet, they could take the most influential black person in the world and run him to the ground. When you see a documentary surviving Bill Cosby, surviving R. Kelly, surviving anybody, the red media made the documentary. I've never seen a black media make a documentary on a Jewish person.
Because they put you where you at now.
Yeah. Well, God put me right here in front of you guys. CPS. At my daughter's game. Jamie Lee Curtis said, I hope they take his children away. They want to take my children away. Today I was just thinking, as I was looking at my account, as Cohen Resnick hid $40 million of bills from me for just a time like this. This is the first year where I managed to keep my account above 100 million until I got hit with $27 million of taxes last week. Then my payroll got cut by Adidas immediately, which was against the contract. And then I flew 2 members of Korn Resnick in last night, and they exposed the extra 40 million that they have been hiding from me of bills. What I'm saying is I'm being honest to you guys. I've been humble, and I have no reason to lie. My family was taken away from me. My reputation has been smeared. So let's close with a prayer. Father God, thank you. Thank you for keeping me alive. Thank you for the voice. Thank you for the clarity. Thank you for the experience. And thank you for the love. Because even though the real hate is what's happening on the media, and the idea of DEF CON was to get protected for a time like this, let's lead with love. I have no association to any hate group. If any hate happens upon any Jewish person, it is not associated, because I am demanding that everyone walk in love. Even though there's been things that have happened wrong to me that made me want to speak up, that you guys saw in the past 2 weeks. You saw the power. You saw Ari Emanuel come out in public and ask, if that happened in public, what do you think happened in private? And what do you think happened in private to so many people for so many years? But what I'm telling everyone, no matter what background you are, no matter what socioeconomic class you are, walk with love right now. Walk, do what God would want. What would Jesus do? Walk with love, spread happiness. I thought that I wasn't gonna be like MLK and stand there. There's times I felt very Malcolm X. But for some reason, God has called me to love and to ask for love for everyone. It's time for us just to love, because love is the answer. It is the only way. Gandhi said, someone who was actually considered to be a racist, right? Gandhi said, an eye for an eye leaves the whole world blind. Jesus, Father God, spread the love. Put the love in our hearts, and know that we are not each other's enemy, but we're all children of you. And you can bring this world to a peaceful place on earth as it is in heaven. In Jesus' name, amen. Love you guys. Good night.
Hey, man, we love you.
I'm done with my energy stuff. Thank you, brother.
Yeah.
Surviving Bill Cosby, Surviving R. Kelly was produced by Red Media.
Big Vax.
What's going on?
Now, who was it produced by?
Red Media, the Jews.
Big Vax. Who was it produced by?
The Jews. Surviving R. Kelly was produced by the Jews.
By the Red Media?
Red Media, the Jews.
You think the Red Media could have produced that George Floyd tape?
I ain't never seen the Candace Owens documentary.
No, I ain't talking about the Candace Owens. I'm talking about what we seen, what the whole world seen.
For me, it's different than you watching a live video in real time. You know, that's the difference. What I'm saying now, you talking about a tape is something that's been made, but we talking about a live feed. That means, like I say, what we doing right now, live feed.
I could me and you stage this live feed? Could we stage a thing? Could we come up with a thing for a live feed and in actual time play it out? You know, meaning the conversation is had and everything, but we planned it.
I mean, the only difference is we got what makes the live different than actual watching a actual production is it's the people that's on here. Like, we can come up and say what we want to say behind backstage or whatever, but at the same time you got people from the time that I go onto this platform, right, and we say we can do it but backstage, from the time we first record on this platform, you got somebody, we're gonna have to mute up. We're gonna have to mute up real quick. We got 45, 46 people. We got 46 people in the chat that's coming on here actually watching the situation. But this is people that's coming up in the chat because we on a platform. So it'll be something totally different. Let's say if you stage the fight, right? If me and you stage the fight, and yeah, we stage the fight. But then when people come up, when random people walk up to this fight, you know what we do as people now. People walk up to a fight or accident or anything, the first thing they do, they pull their phone out and start recording.
Now, let me ask you this.
You right to a way in a sense of it could be staged, but then at the same time,
let me ask you this. Shouldn't it be at least you think that was the only person that had the phones, the shot that everybody got? Is it, and not the police's, but I'm just saying, you think there was only one person with a phone that could record it and not nobody else?
It was like 3 different recordings. I keep telling people now, this I know for a fact. The guy who was talking the shit to the police officer, that guy is my relative blood cousin.
Okay.
That's he's an MMA fighter as well. But like I told people as well, I say that store that he went inside is a Muslim store. I said they have a mosque in the basement of that store. Do you think if that was a Muslim on that ground like that, it would have went the way that it went?
I doubt it.
Because the Muslims gonna come out and they gonna stand for their people. But our people have got to the point what we consider to be standing for our people is pull out a camera and start recording.
World star hip hop, huh?
Yeah, we want to get. I mean, I get if you sell the video to a media outlet, then you know what I'm saying. You can sell your video to a media outlet and get paid for just sitting here. I mean, I didn't understand the significance of recording for 8 minutes and you saying this, you saying that. Like, it's just a fucked up. It was just a sticky situation.
I just would want to think that I would at least throw the phone or something at the police.
You gotta arrest me.
I don't think I could have just sat there and watched the man. I don't know, man. I would hope.
I don't think them guys wanted to shoot nobody. You gonna have to arrest all of us. We know what I'm saying. Arrest all of us.
Yeah,
you know, at least put your hands up and walk up or something like.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to attack y'all, but just put the man in the car. Also, you know, Mr. Floyd, you know, he didn't want to, you know, we could all say he could have just gotten in the car and cooperated. But then it also goes back to the fact that they say that these two brothers have worked together before. They had history with each other.
So that's strange too.
And that was the stranger part, because the lady that owned the bar said that them two had got into it before while working with each other when George Floyd had told the officer, which was working off-duty security, you know, about handling, you know, the black people in the bar a certain way. So,
and they work years together. So that's what's so strange. That's almost sound like some most strange R. Kelly shit case. You know how all this shit is just so strange, and then it don't really fit. But you know, he got 30 years. You know what I'm saying? That's the type of shit this is right here.
From Houston to Minnesota, but Minnesota do have some of the best treatment facilities in the country. Like, a lot of people come there to rehabilitate, but this brother, you know, he's been in and out of the rehabilitation place.
I don't know. I think it's more to it. We definitely gonna find out in the long run.
Yeah, it's gonna most definitely come out. But you know, and then at that time, shit, when they said that he overdosed or whatever, that shit hadn't even got popular like it's popular now.
Yeah,
Like it became popular after the death of George Floyd.
Mm-hmm.
Now you hearing about the shit like this. It's like a normal thing now.
Yeah, they rocking up here in Chicago off that stuff, boy.
It's bad. It's bad. I just looked on the news about 2 months ago. I mean, about a month ago in Minneapolis, a man was arrested in Bloomington, Minnesota. Had 108,000 fentanyl pills, enough to wipe out a fifth. I think they said enough to wipe out a fifth of the goddamn city.
Right. They trying to kill them people for that fentanyl.
108,000 pills.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's messed up, but you know, it's good. But thank God that it's a lot of shit. It's a lot of shit targeting our community. And the thing about it is that when it's targeting our community, man, our own people participate in the destruction of tearing down the community. Because guess what? You know, these drugs come from somewhere, but these people that's bringing it in is giving it to somebody that looks just like us, right, to distribute it throughout the community.
Right.
You know, I remember watching a story a while back, and they were like a documentary on Chicago, and I can't remember who it was, or was it Scottie Pippen, somebody. It was a Chicago, and they talked about like growing up, how they used to find crates of guns in the alleys and shit. Mm-hmm. And they were like, how the fuck these guns just get in the alleys? You know, I witnessed for myself when I was in Minnesota, you know, family members break into gun shops. And the shit just didn't make sense to me, David, when I say this shit. They broke in the gun shops, stole the guns. Then they sold the guns to people that they was beefing with, just so they could have shootouts with each other.
That's stupid.
The craziest shit ever. I never heard nothing like that in my life. Mm-hmm. Like even in the South, they would rob the trains that come through with the guns on them. And all of a sudden, they got these high-powered guns. You know, most officers, they only had them little guns on their side. Man, these kids out here in the streets got choppers. Now they got that. Now they got something worse than a chopper. They got them switches.
Mm-hmm. I just want to say that in Chicago, for a long time, man, you couldn't get no good weed, and we didn't have a lot of guns here. So you had to, like, if you had a body on your gun, you had to keep it, because it was hard to get one. So if you lost the gun, you used to damn near get beat to death, man, because you couldn't, you know what I'm saying? Now, man, for like the last at least 16 years, now you got all these big ass guns like you're talking about, and you know, definitely some good weed.
Yeah, man, it's a self-destruction. It's a self-destruction era, man. And like I say, man, we came on here tonight to address the state of the culture, man, the state of our people. You know, the message that's being sent out, and you know, pretty much tell each and everybody, you know, what they say, God, they say you better get your house in order because he's coming back again, but he didn't say when. Mm-hmm. These are those times that we're living in right now. Those times when they say it's time to get your house in order. You know what I'm saying? It's time to prepare yourself and build that relationship with God. If what they say when you go to church or Sunday school, if you don't know God, right now is the time to get to know him. If you don't have a relationship with God right now, it's the time to build that relationship, because guess what? It's going to come a point, and we live to see the day that we're going to have to make a choice to stand up for something or fall for nothing. You know, it's good to see that our brothers out here or sisters out here stepping forward. You know, people out here that's speaking. But guess what? It start with speaking. We've been speaking since goddamn. We've been speaking since the Sam Cooke, the Malcolm X's, the Marcus Garveys, the Martin Luther Kings, the Fred Hamptons, the music with Tupac and everybody else been speaking. But eventually, it's gonna have to come to a point where we're gonna have to take action. We can't keep talking when we start losing.
Well, like one thing that we could do is stand up with Ye like we're doing. Like if we see somebody bold enough to do that, we should contend, I guess, you know, in a decent manner with those who you know, don't understand that it's a time when you just come together and fight as a family against the enemy.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Even though you got differences of opinions and stuff like that, when you are under attack, which is obvious that we under attack, this is when you come together.
Come together. And guess what, David? I ain't gotta agree with everything you say, and you ain't gotta agree with everything I say, but as brothers, we need to stand together. And guess what? When we away from the enemy, then me and you can sit off in the corner and debate, goddamn, until we pass out. But guess what? When the enemy show back up, that debate goes to the back. We gotta stand beside each other. I gotta make sure that David gotta make sure that I get out.
Right.
That's the only way we gonna survive. We each and every one of us that stand for something, we don't have to agree. We don't have to see it from the same perspective, but we have to show unity and show to these people that we're going to stand arms locked and build a fence and protect what's for us. Because if we don't, guess what? They just gonna walk right through. You might well take the fucking front door off your house if you just gonna let somebody in. Why not? If you're gonna just let somebody in, why not? Take the fucking door off.
Well, shit, not only that, Big Bob, you may as well just give them the goddamn house.
Give them the house. If you ain't gonna stay, you might well just give the shit up. You might well give it up. So when we have brothers, I ain't gonna say brother, when we have another human with the decency as Mr. Kanye, aka Ye, showed to come out and speak against a powerhouse. This man spoke against the machine, but the machine's so powerful. You just took the key word. You saying how you told yourself how to defeat it and saying it. The machine is so powerful. That means that machine needs electricity to move. The electricity is the people. We the ones who's feeding this machine electricity by doing and confining ourselves to the things that they want us to do. If we want to kill power in the machine, we have to stop doing what the machine is expecting us to do. That's how we kill a machine. We have to start, fuck that. We not moving, we not speaking, we not spending, we not doing none of that. You stop your dollars from pouring into that machine and see how far that machine go. That machine is only powered by us.
They need to do a football strike and a basketball strike.
Yeah, all of it. Football, just every. Man, I always said, man, what would the world look like if every black person decided to not show up to nothing? I mean, work, school, basketball, football, baseball, tennis, soccer, golf, swimming, military, anything.
Well, shit, Big Bob, that's shit. Just think about all the black athletes that go to the white universities attended
HBCU.
every HBCU. Look where all that money would go.
See what I'm saying? You can't deny it, man. And guess what? Deion Sanders get the #1 recruit in this nation, and here go these motherfuckers crying. Nick Saban and all these motherfuckers crying, talking about they buying people.
And they know damn well them boosters be giving up money anyway before all the NIL deals came in the first place.
Yeah. But the simple fact that now the NIL is going to benefit minority, it's a problem.
Exactly.
It's a problem, right? Ain't that's why Tim Tebow got in trouble behind receiving money? Cam Newton?
And honestly, to his credit, what's his name? The O'Bannon boys, the ones that got the whole thing kicked off.
Yeah.
Ed O'Bannon. So if it wasn't for them standing up and fighting against the NCAA, none of this shit wouldn't happen in the first place.
Now, and I agree with Prime when he said it's hard to coach kids if they making more money than the coaches is making.
True.
So I understand the structure that Prime talk about instilling in these children. Oh, he too hard on the kids because he telling these young men don't go to class with slides on. Make yourself presentable. You are a young man. Carry yourself as such. Don't go into class with t-shirts with your arms out. That's proper conduct. That's etiquette. These children have a life because all of these, like you say, all of these athletes ain't gonna make it to the pro.
Exactly.
Facts. That's why I feel it's good. They're starting to make money off their name now.
But how many do make money off their name? There's very few. Of course, Shedeur gonna make money. Of course, that cornerback that they got from Florida gonna make money. He's the #1 recruit in the nation.
True.
But what about that? What about that second and third string goddamn athlete?
True.
But of course, the colleges have. But look, if you go over the history of college in sports, the college have made trillions of dollars off the backs of these student athletes.
Nate, college generate
They
more
make
money than the NBA.
to where all students should be able to go to school free.
People be forgetting these colleges and stuff. They've been flying in jets to their games. NBA players just started, like when you listen to some of them speak, they were just saying they just started getting on planes and certain things. College coaches been flying their players in jets. Especially if you're a high Division I recruit. Just play for a top AAU school in USC alone. We're not even talking about college yet. A top AAU school. I mean top AAU team, not school.
So, that's just where it's at, man. We're gonna do. I'd like to get a closing statement and from each and every one of y'all on the panel as far as the state of the culture, where y'all feel as though we at, and what can we do moving forward.
You know what I mean? I got a little something, guy.
Yeah, I mean, y'all go ahead. Whoever want to go first and second and third.
Okay, so I got the book open.
I'm gonna mute my phone. We gonna mute up and let you speak.
Okay. All right, I got the book open. Revelation chapter 3, verse 8 But before I read it, I want to say I like how Ye ended that video with a prayer to the Father that his kingdom would come, and he closed it out in Jesus' name. And it brings me to this scripture right here, and it says, I know thy works. Behold, I set before thee an open door, no man can shut it. But thou hast little strength, and hast kept my word, and hast not denied my name. Behold, I will make them of the synagogue of Satan, which say they are Jews, and are not, but do lie. Behold, I will make them to come and worship before thy feet, and to know that I have loved thee. Because thou hast kept the word of my patience, I also will keep thee from the hour of temptation, which shall come upon all the world to try them that dwell upon the earth. Behold, I come quickly. Hold that fast which thou hast, that no man taketh thy crown. That's where we at right now. That's the state of our culture. I land.
Run it back one more time.
Take it back one more time?
Yeah, one more time. Take it back one more time.
All right. Chapter 3, verse 8 through 11. I know thy works. Behold, I have set before thee an open door, and no man can shut it. But thou hast a little strength, and hast kept my word, and hast not denied my name. Behold, I will make them of the synagogue of Satan, which say they are Jews, and are not, but do lie. Behold, I will make them to come and worship before thy feet, and to know that I have loved thee. Because thou hast kept the word of my patience, I also will keep thee from the hour of temptation, which shall come upon all the world to try them that dwell upon the earth. Behold, I come quickly. Hold that fast which thou hast, that no man take thy crown. Amen. Y'all still there?
Yeah, we still here. We still here.
Yeah, we still here.
All right, so that's me. I land right there.
Well, I'm gonna just say this, gentlemen. As always, it's always a pleasure and honor to be amongst brothers who speaking the truth, but more importantly, want to stand on the truth. So, with that being said, gentlemen, may your evening be well. May the rest of your week be well. Continue to prosper and know that your purpose is not in vain. Your purpose is in God's hand. And each and every day you wake up, allow yourself to make a difference, not only in your life, but at least one person. And always know that you have a victory no matter what you do. And that's all I have.
All right, I'm gonna go now. Once again, it's always a pleasure with you, brothers. I always say, like, I love speaking to y'all. I love when we get together and we all can learn from each other and speak to each other with nothing going left. We ain't gotta call each other out our names. That's always what I know. I always say I love. That's what I love to do when I speak about with y'all brothers. Like, it's never no, oh, you whoopty woo woo woo, or you got what I'm saying, just to get your point across. We all could disagree. We agree to disagree, and I feel that's a lovely and great thing with y'all brothers. And I always look forward to many more. And trust me, I love getting enlightened, and I love learning something new every single day. And I feel like there's never too much knowledge. Like, you can never know everything. So I always just love the fact that we can always learn something new every day. And
Absolutely.
you feel me? Y'all enjoy y'all weeks. I hope y'all have if God forbid, if YouTube's to shut down tomorrow, I would love for y'all to enjoy y'all holidays and have a great Christmas, Kwanzaa, whatever y'all celebrate or whatever, and a great Thanksgiving with y'all family. And hold y'all blessed ones, see y'all daily.
Blessings beyond measure.
Most definitely. Really, Red say I know you wasn't speaking on my opinion, but if our culture keep defending on mainstream media and continue to cut each other down, we will help destroy our race culture. I can agree to that, but if all our culture come together and speak the same thing on mainstream media, then guess what? We can make a statement. But unfortunately, we live in a devil's advocate society, you know, where when it comes to our race or our people, you know, no matter how plain we put things into context, we still gonna have somebody trying to challenge it. But when we look at other cultures and other ethnicities, they can come out and say Charlie Sheen, you know, have alleged, have a HIV and he's in Hollywood and he's giving it to all of these women, and you don't hear nothing from their culture about it. We are the only culture that doesn't know how to deal with our culture within our culture, but instead we go along with the media manipulation, and they plant the seeds in our communities that, like on Bill Cosby, you know, he was giving girls rupees, or R. Kelly, he was taking advantage of young girls, and they plant these seeds in our community, and our people are the ones who take those seeds and water those seeds, harvest those seeds, and spread like wildfire. They don't do no work. All they do is come and drop the message and keep going. You ask the person, why you dislike R. Kelly? I don't know. He did something. Why you dislike Bill Cosby? Oh, he did something. We the only culture that we can't explain shit, but all we know is he did something.
Facts.
He did something. They ain't fucking with him for nothing. He messed with the wrong people. Who the wrong people? Why can't nobody be messing with these people? Why can't nobody be messing with Bill? Why can't nobody be messing with R. Kelly? Why can't nobody be messing with Kanye? Why is it that we always got to be the reason why we go through shit? As if life ain't hard enough for us as it is.
Right.
Like, you tell me a nigga that's out here trying to make life harder for himself. That's the real shit right there. I come on here a lot and I talk. I come on here a lot and I speak. I come on here a lot and I try to reason. But we all out here trying to make shit better. We all trying to get out of that poverty situation. We all have a cap on our life that we trying to take off. We all want to reach beyond the sky. When you got a person like Robert say, the sky is not the limit because I don't believe in the sky. It's the universe that we have to reach to. We don't stop limiting our ability to what these people want us to have. It's way more out there. And the more that we accomplish as an individual, guess what? The ones that we bringing up under us can carry that torch and they can accomplish more.
Mm-hmm.
But if you don't show them that there's work to be done, then guess what they're gonna do? They're gonna stagnate when you go. They're not gonna know what to do. We gotta be the proof. We gotta be the witness. We gotta be the example. Like David say, you know what it means to bear false witness. If we don't be a witness to nobody else, we need to be a true witness to the ones that look at us as their heroes. Our kids can know all the rappers on TV. They can know all the singers, all the basketball players, all the football players, but guess who the hell their hero is? Daddy. Mama. We the first example they set. So we got to make our example be an everlasting example. That these children don't fall straight away from it. Understand. You gotta understand that, man. Brother Sir Miguel, other brothers out here doing the shit that we do, raising young men, women out here raising young men and women. The day we stop looking for excuses and start taking action and kicking the excuses in the ass and say, with or without, I'm going to do what I got to do. I'm going to make it happen. I'm going to make a way. That's the day we take charge. A lot of our people have succeeded in waiting. Whether they waiting on the Lord or they waiting on the system. Well, if they waiting, guess what their child gonna do? Wait.
Mm-hmm.
If y'all didn't catch the line this morning about living in your purpose, if you've been living all of this time that you've existed on this earth, and you're not happy with yourself, if you're not happy with your life, then guess what I'm here to tell you? You need to get your shit in gear and start living in your purpose. Figure out what your purpose is. If you like nurturing people, if you like caring for people, if you like cooking, if you like feeding people, if you like teaching, if you like speaking, if you whatever it is that you like to do and that you love to do, we have to start living in our purpose, because if we want to mean something meaningful to this world that we're living in while we're here, it has to be within our purpose that God designed for each and every one of us. We all have a purpose. When you hear what Kanye West and how he talk about, that man sacrificed everything for his purpose. He feel like his purpose was to speak out against these people, knowing that it would cost him everything. But you got to be willing to die. You got to be willing to give up everything. Because guess what? If it's in your purpose, then God got you. God got me. God got David. God got Sir. God got Dean. Because when we live in our purpose, God tells us you're not alone. That live I did this morning was so powerful. But like I tell people, I understand. I understand. When you come on this channel, it ain't no going back and forth. It ain't no calling bitches and hoes, bitch ass nigga, you this, you that. So we ain't gonna have a big crowd over here because we speaking that real shit. But this ain't the tea over here, this reality. If you don't leave from these lives looking at yourself and asking yourself questions, then you was in the wrong place, or your headspace wasn't where it should have been. All of these brothers that come on this platform are well put together brothers. And that's the difference. These are the conversations they don't want us to have. They don't want me to be able to learn from David. They don't want me to be able to learn from Sir Miguel or Dean or J-Rock or Unc. They don't want us to be able to teach each other. Because the knowledge that I might not have, y'all got it. And the knowledge that y'all might not have, one of us got it. So we iron sharpening iron. Telling y'all, man, I appreciate y'all, brother. Each and every time we come on here, I enjoy this shit. I love it. I look forward to it. Each and every day. Everybody in the chat. I love seeing these people come in the chat. Y'all are my family. This is a family to me. This shit just ain't YouTube. My brother T. Glenn, this man come on here every day, sick as hell, battling kidney failure, tubes in his chest. But he come on here every day and tell me how much he appreciate these lives. Never met this man a day in my life, but I'm working in my purpose. Eventually, I'm going to be able to get away from this job and everything because I'm going to be going around motivating people. That's what my future tell me. This just the beginning. That's it. That's done. That's done from Vi. If ain't nobody got anything else to say, we're gonna do our 5 rules of living a happier life.
What's the 5 rules, right? Okay.
There you go.
Love yourself.
That's 1.
Do good.
That's 2.
What?
Hold on, let me take that off.
Harm no one. Be positive. Always forgive. Yeah, that's pretty good right there.
There's 5 rules to living a happier life. But the ultimate rule, always forgive, but it didn't say forget.
Mm-hmm. You'll be a fool to forget.
Facts.
That's it. To you brothers, salute. Until next time, guess what? I think these old state of the culture joints is going to be something that we have to do often. Wednesday, don't forget you all, Wednesday is going down for the first time. You're going to have Big Vi. You know, I call myself Big Vi Brentley. And we're going to have Prima Donna Palladino going down.
Okay.
8 p.m. Wednesday night. Big Vi, Prima Donna, talking about the corporate casket.
Okay.
Part 2.
Wednesday.
No more.
Kanye already told us about that Red Media corporate casket.
Corporate casket, baby.
This one gonna be real interesting. Wednesday, 8 p.m. Big Vi Brentley, Prima Donna Palladino. Hey, it's going down. Y'all be ready, man. Don't miss it.
Okay.
All right, back. No more.
Most definitely.
All right, peace out, people.
All right, same.
All right, King. Salute.
Stay safe, Bob. Be safe, San Miguel. Stay
Are you too, Dane?
Hey, D, where you from? Hey, D, you from New York, right?
Yeah.
Hold on. Y'all know I gotta bullshit around. Hold on, where you at?
Jackpan, Brycey, Sianada, Billy Pimpini, Jackpan.
You stupid, Bob. You stupid.
Man, I can't. Man, I'm gonna sleep good tonight, boy.
Hey, free R. Kelly, y'all.
100.
He got his uncle out here going crazy. Someone like me, girl, to satisfy your every need, 'cause I don't see nothing wrong. Hey, nothing wrong. Little bit of bumping, nothing wrong. Grind. Oh, I don't see nothing wrong. With a little bumping, nothing wrong. Grind.
Free that man.
All out here straight tripping. And this is the last one right here, man. If you don't
All right,
fuck
today we're going to
around,
talk
you'll
about
never
how we
find
can
out.
find out and how much we can find out and what it takes to get there. So first we have to decide how much do we want to find out. So let's say in this case, I want to find out at a level of 7. Okay, so I find that level on my graph and I come horizontally to my gradient line. Where it intersects with my gradient line, I'm going to come straight down to where it intersects with my fuck around line. That there is going to tell me how much I have to fuck around to find out what I need to find out. See, as you can see, the more you fuck around, the more you're going to find out. And also, if you stay down here and you never fuck around, you'll never find out. So I hope this lesson is helpful. Thank you.
Yo, that was right on time.
Right on time, man. If you don't, the less you fuck around, you'll never find out. The more you fuck around, the more you find out.
You'll find out.
Nice.
Okay, man. Tomorrow I'm gonna try to think of something for us. I'm gonna try to think of something for us to do tomorrow, man. I don't know. I really don't know who we. I don't know, man. We probably get back on Demetrius' ass tomorrow because it's going down Wednesday. So we might tackle Demetrius again, and because it was another interview I seen with him, as well. So we might get on Demetrius or figure it out. I don't know. We're gonna have to figure it out though.
All right, bet.
Okay, for sure.
But I schedule the shit like earlier so we can know what it's gonna be about. But Wednesday for sure, 8 p.m. Me and Prima Donna, the corporate casket part 2, and y'all already know how that shit went. That corporate casket, man, that was dope. That was deep. But I ain't getting to the second part of it. But we're gonna get to the whole. We're gonna try to get through the whole little video, other 23 minutes of the video.
Yeah, I took some notes on that shit too.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be lit, man. All right, salute my brothers.
All right, brother.
Everybody in the chat, y'all have a good night. Y'all be blessed. God love y'all, and remember, tomorrow love yourself a little bit more than you did yesterday, because love is the only way we're gonna escape this place. All right.